Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of the Weekly Grind, where we grind for 3 hours looking for a piece of legendary loot and never seem to find
Oh
It's in my pants.
it.
yeah, for sure.
Except that's only that's common if you're lucky. So,
Well, everybody's seen it, so yeah.
and as always, I got my buddy Daryl here who joined me. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to and I gotta mute things again. This is like the third time this shit has happened. We gotta get better with that. Okay.
Get better, Nub. Get
Dude, this
Hi,
is
Remy.
the 11th episode. You're still screwing up.
Dude, hey, you know what? It takes time to come across perfection.
Yeah. Well, so we'll be looking for a while, huh?
Yep.
Thanks, as always, to our faithful viewers. Marco, we love you.
Yeah, Marco, we were actually just talking about it. We were debating on getting your Steam name because we're thinking about buying you a game because you have been here forever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we would like to reward our loyal viewers with bribes and money and cash and prizes, and except not at all. So, but no, yeah, if you want to shoot us on Twitter, shoot us your Steam name. We'll work something out, and yeah. So thanks.
we got a nice little slew of topics as well as a couple fallback ones in case we run out of things. So,
Yeah.
and also John hopped in here just as we were going live. So what's going on, John?
He has no microphone, so I wouldn't count on him.
Fun. Okay. Well, I guess a deal. What have you been playing this week?
Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4,
Yeah.
and a little more Street Fighter 4 because everyone's been jumping on the Street Fighter 4 train.
But here's my question: have you been playing any Street Fighter 4?
I swiftly want to kick all of you in the nuts. Anybody who got I can talk to Total Biscuit last night, I really want to kick every one of you in the nuts. So just line up in a single file line. I'm just going to walk down and just kick you on
Okay.
one at a time.
We kick you in the nuts.
Here's the thing about the Total Biscuit thing. He didn't show up because he had some issues.
Oh.
Yeah, it was you guys.
Look, honestly, I wanted to abuse a cancer patient, but you know what?
Oh, dude. I'm going to strangle you with my fucking Vmoda mic cords, dude.
And I say I didn't get to watch the stream because my computer wanted to take a shit last night. But what I saw, Adil was fucking killing everybody left and right, and leaving bloody red smears on the ground. So
And so
Yeah.
that's what I heard is you were kicking ass at deals.
hey, I actually managed to win a fight against Adil earlier today. He was going easy on me, I think, but yeah. But then I pussied out because that motherfucker's ruthless.
It's the brown, man. It makes him have no.
Yeah, yeah, he does charge at you like a fucking suicide bomber. No, but yeah. No,
So you've just been playing Street Fighter all week then?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I've been looking at certain games currently, but I'm not sure.
What are you looking at?
Like right now, last night I got this game called. Hold on, let me pull up my Steam
I
library
played that
real
game
quick.
before. Hold on, let me pull up my Steam library. Game of the year right there.
Right? Game of the year of all
It's
years.
right along there at the quality of Depression Quest and Gone Home.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget about Dear Esther.
Oh god.
That
And
game.
Mountain. You can't
What's
forget
Dear
about
Esther?
Mountain.
By the way, whoever gifted me Dear Esther, I will find you. I will legitimately find you. But no, yeah, last night I got Fate Undiscovered Realms. I want to replay Shovel Knight, and I got Red Faction, Armageddon, and
Shovel Knight,
Gorilla.
you'll do it.
Yes.
Shovel Knight is excellent. And
No,
you say
I-
replay, so you've already played it.
Yeah, I've beaten the game.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
Dude, it's like one of my favorite games from last year, hands
Oh
down.
hell yeah. Yeah, same here. That was actually my choice. If I hadn't got so drunk I couldn't keep my eyes open, that would have been my nomination on the Christmas show. So,
Dude, it was one of my nominations on the Christmas show, and it didn't get picked because none of these plebs had played it.
oh jeez. You guys rectify that situation or I'll never speak to you again. Yeah, that's a hollow threat. They're like, we don't speak to you now. Hey,
Yeah,
John.
but is John in?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
He's staring uncomfortably. He's got his rape face on, so Please continue, John. Sorry, or John Adil. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm apparently a white guy now.
Yeah.
But, heck yeah, level up my privilege.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You're a plantain, brown on the outside and white on the inside. Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Red Faction Guerrilla, so like that's probably the next game I'm going to play.
That's an older one, right?
I'm not sure.
I think I got a free copy of it when I bought Darksiders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, like I've got every Red Faction game from like Red Faction to all the way to Guerrilla. So I'm guessing Guerrilla's the newest one.
Yeah, well, new as of let's see, 2009.
Yeah,
So,
still.
Yeah. Just 6 years old. That's relatively new.
You act like that's a long time. Like at this point, it's warranted to have spoilers leak. It's just go for it.
Right.
Like,
No, but it's really good. So go get it, play it, have fun with it.
now is that the? No, that was Armageddon. Is what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
So
Yeah, but pretty much I have all four of those games. And Guerrilla's probably next on my list. And I still gotta beat LA Noire.
Man, I really wish I would have actually legitimately played that game instead of being a little cheating bitch about it.
Yeah, like go to the wikis and like automatically know everything.
Yep. Ask them this question and then this one and then hey, why not this one too? Like, oh god, I shouldn't have even looked at this.
Oh God, I just read an email. Hey, I got this new job, right? And I was supposed to start Monday. They can't start the training class Monday with just 4 of us, so they pushed it back a week.
That sucks.
So I'm gonna have to scramble to figure out how I'm gonna get my electricity paid. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, man. Now I'm depressed.
Don't be.
Anyway, yeah.
All
Anyway.
right, John. What have you been playing this week? Still no mic, buddy. Can't hear
You're muted, dude. Go into your Google settings there.
you.
I don't think that's the case.
Can you hear me now?
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, we can hear you now. He sat there for a good
Can you hear
10
me?
minutes.
Yeah,
He
we
sat
can.
there for a good 10 minutes, dude. And
I didn't say nothing either, so it's all good. There was nothing missed.
Oh, I just flicked fucking ash into my soda.
Oh, dude,
Ooh.
I've done that. That sucks.
was not necessary. That was.
Yeah, it still tastes great though. So
Why? Why would you, dude?
no, it's
you
like
got some rather handsome 10 o'clock shadow going on there.
Yeah, you do, man.
Thanks.
He looks like that guy from Iron Man. Any one of those guys.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I just
Man,
got
you
the
look like one
joke,
of those guys.
Oh, man, what the
No.
hell is the name of that group? I can't even remember.
The 10 rings.
Yes, as I said, I'm wearing a fucking Iron Man shirt. I should be ashamed.
Okay, we've already got off track. John,
Yeah, John, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Titanfall and also Advanced Warfare because we already established that I'm a COD fag.
Yeah.
No,
Especially-
out of those two, like, all right, now you see what I was telling you before about how play Titanfall to have fun. Don't play it to be like the best.
Dude,
Right.
everyone just sits there with the smart pistol and camps their fucking asses off.
Oh yeah, but it's one of the things where if you're just running around trying to have fun, you'll have fun.
Yeah.
No, actually, I actually really like the survival game where you have to face off waves.
Yeah.
Like that's fun. Like I've actually started to enjoy that way more than the whole multiplayer thing because it's a cooperative and it's something where like you can build your skill consistently. Whereas with multiplayer, like depending on who you're going against, you can either get like completely destroyed and there's almost no chance for you to grow as a player, or it's like someone who's way easier than you and like there's no like it actually makes your. The one thing I hate about playing it against people who are way worse than me is that I get really sloppy.
Right.
And like I just run around everywhere just shooting everyone. And then when someone decent comes in the lobby, I get ass fucked really hard because I'm just like I can just jump around this corner and shoot him. Oh shit. There he is behind cover because he's smarter than me. Damn it.
Adil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to focus.
Was he like
he Get out of the secret Skype cabal.
Hey! We're not supposed to reveal that information. Calm down.
What? Jason's super secret Skype cabal? We're not supposed to mention that.
No.
Anyway, so you've been playing the usual then? Anything else? Or
No, because I actually for my job, my real life job,
yeah.
I am no longer officially injured, so I can return to work.
Huh.
Which means that I'll be driving to different states
Oh.
and getting paid to nap in the passenger side of a semi-truck.
Oh, are you doing the We discussed that. Yeah. I know.
So
what
that's
you're
where
doing.
you just buy yourself a 3DS and fucking play Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you come through
It's got
Colorado, come
unlimited
visit.
data and Netflix.
Yeah, right. Well, the 3DS has Netflix too, but yeah. But yeah. So are you doing the not the warehouse, that I think we talked about that job before. Is that what you're doing? The fucking you sit in the car and you unload shit in the truck and you unload shit?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to get too, detail oriented in case people dox your handsome ass. But
You know it.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
There's a reason I don't show up on camera.
All right, Daryl, what have you been playing this week?
I have been actually, man. Let's see. Let me go to my Steam list here because I've been playing quite a bit of different stuff. Of course, we've been playing more Sonic and All Stars Racing Transform, Sonic. Just played a little bit of SteamWorld Dig, some Earth Defense Force, Insect Armageddon, Ultra Street Fighter 4. Just a little bit of everything, and it's been fun. Doing a lot of stuff with the old crew, and just having a damn good time doing it. Because I'm poor, so unless somebody gifts me something on Steam or whatever, I ain't playing it. So, but yeah, mostly just a little. Oh, and I found a. I don't know if this is a taboo subject, but I found a PSP emulator that works really well, and I've been playing Mega Man Powered Up because it's a hard game to find. And
dude, I gotta play that.
yeah, it's excellent, man. It's fucking tiny little bobble-headed Mega Man. It's great. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, just a little bit of everything with these guys. Adil's going to show us some of his skills on Street Fighter 4 later, and because I used to be I wouldn't call myself like tournament level at all, but I used to be really into fighters back in like the Marvel vs. Capcom and days and whatnot, and just kind of fell out of them because I didn't really have anybody to play with, and now Adil's looking right into my soul.
Those are the eyes of a
You
challenger.
wanted him to pay attention. He's paying attention.
Right.
Hold on, those are the eyes of a challenger. Like someone needs to take that picture.
No, this
and
guy's
put the
brutal,
deal
man.
ready for the battle.
Like when Adil stopped fucking around, dude, it was like, oh man, it was brutal. But yeah, we started playing a little Ultra Street Fighter 4 this morning, and it's good times. And I'm kind of like, it sparked my interest in fighters again, so I'm gonna have Adil kind of show me the ropes whenever he has the time and inclination, and
I still think someone's got to take a picture of a deal and put a challenger approaches.
right. But yeah, same old stuff, mostly just with a little added Ultra Street Fighter 4. So that's what I've been playing.
Oh yeah. I have a fucking, oh no, a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hopped back on Dragon Age, so I'm still trying to peck away at that and finish that up.
Right.
Played a little bit of what was it? Warcraft 3.
Yeah, he's like,
What I mean by a little bit, I literally mean turned it on, made 2 moves, and was like, yeah, I'm done. So like, I don't know. This whole week I didn't really play much of anything. I meant to, didn't happen. Played Cards Against Humanity, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been. If we were talking about a game, yeah, that's another game I've been playing a lot. Cards Against Humanity with freaking like at least once a night.
Yeah, I was. I picked up a couple. I picked up a new game today, so I'm gonna probably stream that after the show at some point.
Which
I don't know how far I'll get into it though.
which game was it?
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix.
Oh yes, I love Kingdom Hearts. Like Kingdom Hearts 2 was specifically the game I remember. Like this is the game that like made me fall in love with video games again, and like convinced me, yeah, I need to be a game designer. So
Was that
So-
the PlayStation 2 version?
No,
The
no, no.
No, this is the one for PS3.
Yeah, it's the
It's the-
HD port.
Yeah, the
Oh no,
re-release
then
they just
I
came out
played
with.
the original Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts,
that.
they brought Kingdom Hearts 1 back, I think it was sometime in the spring last year.
Mhm.
And it was Kingdom Hearts 1 remake, Kingdom Hearts Remix or whatever, and it came with, I think, 2 of the handhelds. And then they came out with 2.5 Remix. There's 2 more of the
I think-
handheld games with
no,
it as well.
Now, see, it came with the Chain of Memories remake that came out on the PS2, and then the other one, I think, was just the cutscenes from the DS version.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I never really fucked around with any of the handheld ones just because I didn't really count them as part of the actual storyline.
Yeah, the DS one isn't too bad.
I did download an emulator back in the day and played a little bit of Chain of Memories, but I really didn't. I wasn't digging on
The card battle system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do get the PS2 port of that one, and it might be worth checking out because it is a little retooled and whatnot. I mean, it's still the card based battles and shit like that, but I don't know.
I got the game cases in my kitchen right now, so I'm not gonna run out and get it. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so excited to be able to jump back in that universe. Like
Oh,
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts 1, I absolutely loved. And then 2 came out, and I was like, oh, how can they make this fighting system any better? It's like, oh, well, now it's like a goddamn Dragon Ball Z fight.
Right.
You're gonna be picking up the third on the Xbox, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Either that or PS4. I might put
I'm
it on the
so
PS4
disappointed.
because I'll have trophies on there already, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the better make it PlayStation because that's where like Kingdom
It's-
Hearts was born.
Right.
Oh, I know.
You do not screw with that.
Like, I have no problem with them having it. It's just like, I don't know. The way I just associate that franchise with
Yeah.
PlayStation. It's kind of
Right,
like how
right.
people
Yeah.
associate Call of Duty with my Xbox, even though it's on everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just the way I look at it.
Or the way they associate that thing with the other thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
should we start diving into topics now?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's
All
go.
right. You guys
We got
all
a-
have your list, right?
Nope.
Oh, you should.
First
I
link I've got.
pretend it doesn't exist.
right. The Alleged Destiny link. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go for it.
We talked about this last week where we showed the picture. It was like the House of Wolves is the name of the new DLC that was leaked out,
Hmm.
and people were talking about it, and then it's like, oh, it's a picture at like a Bungie press conference, and so it's kind of grainy, a little blurry. But once you zoom in, you can clearly see what everything says. Well, this is kind of just more information to kind of solidify that leak that it is true.
Right.
And it's pretty much throwing out a bunch of new map, 4 new Crucible maps. There's going to be, I think, a new raid, as well as a bunch of other little armor sets and things like that. Oh, 9 new legendary weapons. Which, if you've ever played Destiny, the legendary weapons don't look any different. It's the exotics that are like the unique look to them.
Right. The ones we're grinding for every week
Yeah.
and never find.
Because it's Destiny, and the drop rate is fucking ridiculous.
I gotta admit, I still haven't played that. So,
Dude, at this point, I would say just don't.
all right.
Like, legitimately, it's a great game. It's got solid shooting mechanics and everything like that, but after everything's said and done as far as story goes, the game is just real grindy. Like, I could hop on once, like, I think I might have actually hopped on that last weekend as well. I don't totally remember. 'Cause that's how mind-blanking it is. You kind of have to shut off your fucking sense of thought for a little bit and force yourself.
Right. Hey. So, since there's not really much to say about that, can I bring up something I'd like to talk about?
I'll go for it.
Nintendo releasing Wii games on the Wii U eShop.
Oh no! Speaking of which, my Nintendo Wii U just lit up and had a little ad on my fucking gamepad a second ago. I'm not even joking. I'm looking at my laptop, and out the corner of my eye, I see that thing turn on. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nice. You can actually buy Super Mario Galaxy 2 right now for $9.99 on the Wii U eShop. So, and that's going to be followed by Metroid Prime Trilogy, which will, I'm eager to see what that does to the fucking secondary market, considering GameStop was selling that game for $60 used, and also Punch-Out is on the slate. So yeah, enjoy that shit. Mario Galaxy 2 is a game worth playing, though. So
Oh yeah, for
that's
sure.
what everyone says. It's like the last good, not the last good, but like it's the one where like if you play it, that's it. You don't need to play a Mario game for a while. You're good.
right, yeah. I mean, they managed. I mean, a lot of people like to view it as a retread of the first game, especially considering it had a really short turnaround, between the first and second. But it really is an excellent game, well-designed levels, really challenging at points, and just real fun to play. And at $10, you can't go wrong. So, fire up your Wii U and give it a shot now, or I will kill you.
Oh, after the show. After the show.
I will kill you after the show.
You guys forget that's actually my job.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so Adil will firebomb you after the end of the show.
Yeah, thank you. I was getting offended.
Yeah, we forgot to be racist.
Actually, John, you're really big into first-person shooters. You probably dig on Destiny quite a bit, to be honest.
Played what?
Destiny?
You did.
No, I haven't, because that's on the Xbox One, and I do not have an Xbox One.
Oh, fuck, that's right. It is only next-gen consoles only.
And we're
No,
still
those are
waiting for
current
it
gen,
to come
Ryan.
out on.
I know. I realized what I said after I said it.
But yeah. So we got that out of the way. The Mario Galaxy and Destiny. Maybe John will get it if he ever upgrades or downgrades or side grades to console.
Well, because I have both Xbox 360
Yeah.
and the computer. So I
isn't
may get Destiny for computer.
If it ever comes out.
Is Destiny on the 360 as well?
No.
No, it's just current gen stuff.
You think it would be, but I think they were planning on it being
Oh, it was
one of the
Titanfall I
games that
was thinking
forces
of.
everyone to change over.
Right.
And
we all
they figured it being Bungie, it would have had that pool, but it just didn't really.
right. And wasn't that the game that was supposed to kill Gamergate?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that was the one that came out like, oh, once Destiny comes out, everyone's going to stop talking about Gamergate. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah. See, we're actually gamers, so we like good games.
Oh.
If anything, that would have just started off Destiny Gate.
Right. Yeah.
No, hold on. Let me talk about Destiny in the first place.
Sure.
Destiny is fun if you're playing the multiplayer. Bungie kills it when it comes down to the multiplayer aspect. Hell, personally, I like Bungie's multiplayer
Right.
over COD's hands down. Like, I would pick Halo over Call of Duty. I would pick Destiny over Call of Duty.
Gotcha.
That being
Hey, now.
said,
Call of Duty is the best thing ever.
no, go away.
You don't know what you're talking about.
We can mute that.
Hey, John, people are allowed to have different opinions, man.
No, they're just wrong.
No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I do like Call of Duty in a sense.
Oh,
Sure.
John Apocalypse in chat says it is on 360 and PS3.
Oh, all right.
Destiny. Let me see. Because, that's what I thought. I thought it was... Because I know Titanfall was also on the Xbox 360, right? Am I right, John? You would know, right?
Titanfall is not on the Xbox 360. It is just the Xbox One also.
It is? Are you sure?
He posted
Oh,
an
then it
Amazon
must be
link.
Destiny that I'm thinking about, because it is on PlayStation 4, PS3, Xbox One, and 360. So.
Is it?
Yeah. So grab yourself a copy for your 360, man.
Hold on.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Maybe I was totally wrong on that. Oh, yeah. Hey. I have to get that game then.
Yeah. And what else we got on the slate? Looks like the release date for Grand Theft Auto has been announced for the PC.
And it has been announced and delayed.
Yeah. So it's going to be coming out on March 24th rather than January 27th. So just a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, like originally the game was slated for, I think it was February of 2013, and they pushed it back to September just to get a bunch of extra polish and shit in. So
yeah. Well, I mean, and see, the thing is, this version's going to come with support for up to 3 monitors, so you can do a triple monitor configuration, and
it's going to support 4K resolution as well. So
yes,
Oh, that's amazing.
1080p, 60 frames with up to 4K resolution. So if your computer can handle it, I mean, I'm looking at some of these screenshots, and the textures are freaking amazing. So
and see, what's funny is even the system specs don't scream like overpowered PC at all either. So
well, yeah. Like we've got, it's got support for Windows 8.1 64-bit and yada yada, the usual shit. An NVIDIA video card is recommended if you're running Vista. It's processor requirements: Intel Core 2 Quad CPU Q6600 at 2.4 gigahertz, or an AMD Phenom 9850 quad core processor at 2.5 gigahertz.
4 gigs of memory.
Yeah, 4 gigs of memory, dude. And a video card, an NVIDIA.
Mind you, these are the
GT.
minimum. These are the minimum, just to get the game to run.
Right. These are your minimum specifications. So
wait, 4 gigs of memory on the video card, or 4 gigs of memory just?
No, 4
gig
gigs
on
on a
the
video card would be way.
Yeah, 1 gig on the video card. The recommended specs are 2, so it's still
that's fine.
Yeah, still not crazy. And of course, even the recommended specifications aren't too bad. Intel Core i5 3470.
I think the craziest thing is the 65 gigabytes on the hard drive space.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking huge game, so
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that seems for cheap.
So basically,
I'm actually totally anxious just to see the mods that come out of this game.
Yeah. Right.
Because once people get a hold of it and really crack the source code and start digging into everything, like people have already done so. That's how they know that there's somewhere in the game that something about a jetpack will happen at some point or another.
Right.
But
well, you've seen the mods for GTA 4. There's some promising stuff out there.
That's what I'm more excited about. Is just like I want somebody to put the fucking portal gun or the gravity gun or something like that into GTA 5. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you'll get all that and more. As long as it's as easily moddable as the 4th, which it being Rockstar, I don't see why not. So.
Yeah, they've always had a very open sense towards the modding community. I just hope that because of online's not monetization nature, or is it microtransaction nature, that they don't, lay down the band hammer swift with it, because I don't know, it makes me a little worried.
Yeah, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so what else we got here, man? We're kind of running through these topics pretty quick, aren't we?
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask John and Adil what were their opinions on all this.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys have opinion. I mean, nobody's stopping you.
No, I'm on
No, I said nobody's stopping you, dude. You can start at any point.
Okay.
Okay, nobody's stopping. No.
Dude.
He's just not.
Now I'm stuck. Thanks, Daryl. I mean.
Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, in regards to GTA 5 being delayed, that's fine. That is completely okay, and it makes business and financial sense. Simply because January and February are usually 2 of the most stacked months when it comes down to games. And not just that, more polish on a game like this, especially on a PC port, where PC ports are heavily scrutinized, is good.
Right.
So, I am A-okay with this, delay and whatever's going on. And, from what I heard of the specs, but yeah, in regards... Dude.
Yeah, my bad.
I think people are definitely okay with delays on this one, considering how GTA 4's port initially was.
Right.
They had so much time to work on it, and it was still just... They wanted to make the excuse that it was quote-unquote, future-proof with the way that all the texture scaled and everything, but it took them quite some time to even give any kind of fine granularity to the settings options so you could actually run it on a variety of machines. It took the modding community to get it to frickin' run on shit. Yeah, the Grand Theft Auto 4 port was so bad. I'm really hoping for a better one.
I mean, that might have been part of the reason why they chose to wait so long.
Take as much time as they
Right.
need. Wait till summer. Wait till fucking winter. If it's good, it's good. If it's shit, wait.
Yeah, see, I think that's something that people are a little bit weary on with, like, not like, okay, they like the market itself, not gamers. Like, because gamers have shown the way out. We'll wait. You can release that thing whenever the hell
Oh, hell
you
no, I want it yesterday.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's the best response ever. Just fuck it.
But yeah, gamers will wait until the game is solid and ready. Like, we'd rather have a good, solid product than it come out a buggy fucking mess. Unity.
I got
Yeah.
games to play for days.
Yeah, exactly. I have a back catalog like a motherfucker.
Oh, shut up, you fucking. Yeah. You're a classist bastard. I'm a poor guy.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'm waving all this privilege around.
Yeah.
Actually, a deal, but if whenever we do that, I'm going to bring somebody in from chat. He's really anxious to talk about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like I think it was Miyamoto, wasn't it, who had said a delayed game is bad, or a buggy game, or no, a delayed game is bad once. A delayed game is, or no, I don't know. Fucking
Yeah,
something
a
about,
bad
like,
game is bad. A bad game's bad forever. You know.
there we go.
basically.
Yeah, like that whole little thing, and it's such a fucking true comment, and you can kind of see where Nintendo doesn't really do the whole like. We'll show you the game early, but we're not going to tell you a release date until it's like a month or two out.
Right. Right.
But geez, they did that with there's some game in the Nintendo Direct conference that was on just recently where, like, we don't even have a title yet. It's just a concept action game coming soon.
Right.
Have
Right.
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
They kind of did that same thing with Fire Emblem. They were like, oh, look, the latest in the Fire Emblem series. There's no other title but Fire Emblem series. There you
Nintendo
go.
does that a lot. They do tend to do that a lot, or at least lately, since they started doing those Nintendo Directs a while back. You know, it's like they'll show you some stuff and say, "Hey, doesn't this look cool?" And also, here's a placeholder name. So,
Yeah,
I mean-
and that's fine. Like,
Sure.
I'd
Yeah.
rather them do that and just give us something than, you know, like, oh, here's a 10-minute Nintendo Direct every 6 months that has nothing because we're not comfortable talking about anything.
Mhm.
right. What do you guys feel about the Nintendo Directs, by the way? Like that approach?
I honestly think that Microsoft and Sony should step the fuck up and get in line.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's freaking
Nintendo
fantastic.
Directs are amazing.
Yeah, they're always fun. Like every time I watch them, I sit there anticipating like really cool stuff, and mostly for the most part, I'm not disappointed. You know, like
Now, you see, the one thing I would say about that is I feel like Iwata and Reggie have
Yeah.
more of a presence with that shit than
Yeah.
you'd say like Phil Spencer or whoever the hell leads Sony. Like, that's another thing is this allows you to get to know the people who run these companies.
Bill. What is his name? Bill Trinan.
Is that who? No, I think
Yeah,
that he's the guy who
he's the
stepped away
Treehouse
from
guy.
Sony. Oh,
No,
okay.
He's the Nintendo Treehouse guy.
And let's
He's-
just say it. These people have better goodwill.
right,
yeah.
right,
But,
absolutely.
Imagine if like Microsoft started doing this more. You know,
Right.
we would have all known Don Magic was gone within the first week. Fucking.
Yeah, and I mean, I love these things, and I think it's great that they're bringing this information straight to us rather than having it filtered through these websites. You know, I mean, especially considering like when the Wii U launched, within 2 weeks, people were proclaiming doom and gloom. Xbox
Yeah.
One found itself in a similar situation. Nobody
But, at the
really
same
said
time-
anything about it.
Wii U was kind of like a lot of people were like, oh, well, see, this just proves console gaming is dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
what?
And to be fair, up until the PlayStation 4 started doing really well, you know, people were kind of wary about those two as well, because you know, I mean, in Japan, the shift was towards mobile gaming and not even necessarily on a dedicated handheld device. So you know, people were thinking, well, you know, that with that being one of the bigger markets, is, you know, this shit's going to be self-sustainable, and we're seeing, you know, that it is, fortunately, and
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm just talking in terms of like when the Wii U came out, everybody was willing to write it off almost immediately.
They wrote off
And-
the initial Wii.
Right. Well, yeah. And the thing that really upset me was like developers brought, you know, 6 month late console ports to the Wii U and expected those games. I mean, I'll be honest, like most of the market for games like Darksiders and Assassin's Creed 3 and whatnot already bought those games on one of their other consoles. So bringing these games out, 6 months late, did you think they were going to sell like gangbusters? I mean, I think the best tactic with a Nintendo system is to make exclusive content or content that plays to the system's strengths as a third party. Like games like Boom Blocks or
or even just your
don't bother with the ports.
Just the amazing first-party lineup that Nintendo has at their disposal.
Right. But I mean, in terms of like third parties, if they want to find success, I think that rather than porting 6-month-old games, they should have had something ready for launch that was unique to the system. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like
all the consoles could have done that.
Sure. Well, yeah, that is true. But I think in terms of Nintendo, it's like they have a hard time selling third-party games on their systems anyway, because their first-party stuff is usually so much better that people usually buy Nintendo systems for Nintendo stuff.
Oh, real fast. Remy had asked us to slow down earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
No, she was just talking in terms of she wanted it to take more than 2 minutes this time.
Oh. No, grab a stopwatch. We'll try.
But yeah, while my brain's still working, I mean, traditionally, Nintendo systems, the biggest competitors for third parties on Nintendo systems is, of course, Nintendo. So I think where you find success is instead of porting... I mean, I bought Darksiders 2 on the PS3 when it first came out. I didn't necessarily need it again 6 months later on the Wii U. And so, based on the relative lack of success of these late ports, people were saying, like, well, the Wii U's dead in the water. And it just seemed like... And now knowing what we do about these journalists and their agendas and shit, it seems really... I mean, I would have written that off as a conspiracy theory a year ago. And now I can kind of, see where that, there might be a little bit of cause for concern there. Because, I mean... You saw the Xbox One come out of the gate with similar struggles. It didn't sell a lot out at first, and nobody really made a big to-do about that, So it seems like if everything's equal, there should have been the same discussion going on with the Xbox One as there was with the Wii U.
And a lot of that was like they did a shitty job with their marketing to begin with, and they did a shitty job at marketing it. All the reversals and shit that were done. Like I was talking to like avid gamers, like people who I would strongly consider gamers,
Right.
And they didn't even know that the policies had changed.
Right.
Well, it's hard to market what you're going to be doing when you don't even know what you're going to be doing. And a big problem with Microsoft and Sony this time around was that they kept on waiting for each other to do something, and then they were going to react to what the other did. We're going to be different to what other did. Whereas Nintendo, for better or worse, they're going to do their own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, John Apocalypse brings up that Zombie U was unique to the Wii U and didn't do so well. But that's the thing. Being unique in and of itself isn't enough. I mean, a game has to be good.
Compelling.
Had that game had an actual story there, something to grab you and drive you through completion, instead of just being, oh, well, that survivor's dead, now you can go and find that survivor.
Right.
Through. Like, don't get me wrong, the concept was cool.
Sure, right. But the execution was shaky.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it was a roguelike in a zombie apocalypse, which is a cool concept, but they could have gone so much further with it. Like, with each character, there's a different part of the story you have to play, but I'm not sure if Ubisoft was... Like, I think they rushed the game out, to be honest.
Right. And, yeah, I mean, it had a sphere-like polish and focus, and I think that's why... I mean, like, one of my favorite games on the Wii U is, or third-party games at least, was the Boom Blocks and the sequel. And because those games took advantage of the strengths of the system and played to those strengths, rather than just trying to shoehorn, a cheap-ass, port that wasn't ever going to work because it was made for, the Xbox 360 and PS3 originally, I mean, so when the system got original content tailored for it, it was good. But the problem was there wasn't enough of that, and there was a shit ton of shovelware, which is, people like to blame Nintendo for that, but we saw the same thing at the ass end of the PS2. So, I mean, a system with a large install base is going to have a lot of shovelware, just because it's cheap and easy, and even if, like, 10% of your market buys it, that's, you're still going to...
That's still a profit,
Yeah. So, you know. And now Remy says that Nintendo markets to people who are casuals. I
disagree
don't know.
with that.
Yeah, I don't think they really do. I think they
They
I would
target
say
more towards
They
casuals
they do,
than others.
but they
Right.
also like they market to the nostalgia gamer a lot too, because you know these characters, you grew up with them, you know what their games are like, you already know what you're getting into.
right.
But the same way, John Apocalypse has said that the Nintendo will most likely be third place in the console of their generation.
And that's okay. And
Yeah,
he
see,
also-
this is a thing, and I brought this up last week. I think either that week or the week before. I'm not sure. Nintendo has kind of put their stake in the ground as you two can go and have your console.
right,
We're
right.
gonna go over here and do our own thing.
And that's fantastic. I mean, you know, instead of following market trends and stuff, they're analyzing their potential market. They're going after that market. They're not so worried. I mean, you know, which puts them in a tight place with third parties who want them to go after that traditional market and stuff. But that's also why, to go back to what I was saying, I think that third parties should make games that tailor to the system and speak to the market, better. Because if they're going to release ports, some which are hamstrung in some way, like Arkham Origins was, for example, with no online mode, people aren't going to buy that shit. The folks who are in that market are going to buy it for another system. Now, John Apocalypse makes a good point that the Wii U is a fantastic secondary console, and I do think there's some merit to that. Like, I enjoy my Wii U, and everything I played on it I think is fantastic. But at the same time, like, if I didn't have my PS4, I might be feeling a little bit, frustrated, I guess. But, and I always kind of recommend that to folks, that they buy the Wii U as a secondary system rather than their primary, depending, of course, upon their needs. Like,
not just that, but you have people out there who they absolutely love every Nintendo IP.
Right.
And
yeah, I have to tell you, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Like, it's one of them things where I'm a diehard Zelda gamer. Everyone knows this. You can tell them on a fucking Avatar picture, for crying out loud.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you're buying the Majora's Mask 3DS, right?
exactly.
Oh yeah, for
Not
sure.
the 3DS. I couldn't get the gold.
Just the game?
And,
Okay.
yeah, that was sold out in store as well. But yeah, it's if they would have announced a Zelda game for the Wii U day one with it, I would have been in store that fucking day buying one. It wouldn't have even been a second thought to me.
I'm watching Remy go full fucking console fanboy in the comments.
Yeah,
I
like
love you, Remy, but
I'm gonna say, like, coming from a primarily PC angle, like, I haven't really had a console since PS2. I
Yeah.
just stuck to PC. The only console right now that I would think about getting, and am thinking about getting because of a few exclusives, is the Wii U, because that's the one that has the exclusives that, frankly, that I care about, that
sure.
I'm not gonna get.
Exactly.
well, like, I could see our group playing Splatoon pretty hardcore.
oh yeah, for
that
sure.
game! I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Now,
Splatoon
Marco
actually
says-
looks really good.
It does.
Here's the thing about Nintendo. This is something we all have to think about. Nintendo focuses on gameplay first. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what the game looks like.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what the game looks like. It doesn't matter like if it's kid oriented or not. Kids are attracted to Nintendo because bright shiny colors and it's all like happy and sunshiny and stuff. Adults and hardcore gamers like me and most of you guys like Nintendo because their games play so freaking well.
Right.
And that's the beauty of Nintendo. Like, they can appeal to everyone. Actually, I had a friend who used to work at a GameStop who told me at one point in time, like, the Wii was extremely successful because for each PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 sold, they would also sell a Wii.
Right.
Because it didn't matter if you were a PlayStation fanboy or an Xbox fanboy, like, you had a Wii with it
Right. Yeah.
for the most part.
yeah.
And that's how
I'd
Nintendo
say-
got a lot of its sales.
Right.
The only reason why I did this is because I had no room. I had my bedroom consisted of my bed, a TV, and my Xbox. I had no room to move around and do things.
Now, see, to kind of piggyback on what Adil was saying, like, I actually sold a couple of Wii U's to family members, or sold them on them, rather, just by taking mine over and bringing Wii Sports, and then later Wii Sports Resort and stuff, and, Marco says that Nintendo consoles make good party games, and that's absolutely true. Like whenever
Speaking of which,
there's a much more
Mario Party
family-friendly
10.
orientation to them as well. Like you can do a lot more stuff. Computer games kind of lack in that you can't say, hey, let's all get together and play a game on my computer together, because most computer games don't offer
right,
to play.
Right, very little in the way of couch co-op on those.
Speaking of Nintendo making party games, Mario Party 10, also known as Ruins Friendships.
Yeah, that's coming to Wii U, right?
I swear to God, there have been assault charges filed because of Mario Party.
Yeah. And that's another game, if it has
I will kill you.
online play, that we could all put into our rotation. I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, we gave 100% Orange Juice a try, and it was fun. So, getting a proper Mario Party game in the mix would be something I could see happening for sure.
100% OJ.
Yeah.
We'd have to keep the recording on Twitch, but yeah, I'm definitely for it.
Right.
That's another thing about Nintendo. It's just like, here's something what modern games do not do well enough, and that's bring a group of people together to play a game together.
Right.
And Nintendo capitalizes on that.
Yeah, it's something you've kind of seen a lot of lately. You've seen the cutaway from split screen.
Yeah.
Right. And what was I going to say? I had a point. I was going to make one. I swear.
Sure.
I know, but I'll point out that I still have friends who have the N64, and we'll get her to play like old school Mario Kart.
Fucking
either
that or kick ass in some GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
I mean,
I remember when GoldenEye came out.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii, dude. I had friends who bought that, and we spent all night.
Oh, hell yeah. And see, that was actually the game that really kind of brought the whole couch co-op thing to a head. That Mario Kart, I think. I mean, you read tons of stories out there of people who, hanging out in college, grab a copy of GoldenEye and get together with their friends and play all night, and that is one of the better aspects of the Wii, as well as the fact that instead of trying to be a jack of all trades and master of none, Nintendo typically focuses, on a system that can play games and play them well, and I think it benefits for it. Because, I mean, when we're talking about, like, the Xbox One, for example, they had to drop Kinect support to give developers that extra, give them the option to drop Kinect support to give them that that extra power for games and stuff. And so, these systems are focused on being an all-in-one media center device rather than a games console. And I like that Nintendo does keep its stuff a little bit more focused, because if I want that stuff, I've got 20 different devices, in my closet that'll fucking do that shit. So,
see,
John Apocalypse asked what % of gamers still want split screen. I don't know if there's an actual percentage out there, but it's a great thing to have whenever you just want to do some co-op.
Options are not bad.
I think it's good for racing games and certain other genres.
Yeah, racing games are one of the big things, right? But you still have to remember, I remember playing, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, being able to split screen with a friend and just play online together.
Yeah.
And use
that was
one
actually one of the things that kind of bugged me about the Xbox 360, was that you couldn't do 4 screen players, 4 split screen on the Xbox, where you could do that on the PS3.
Well, you could do that with World at War, but that was the old one that would allow you to do it.
Yeah, all the newer ones. And then, of course, you had Battlefield, which is, you can't do that. Like, they won't let you. Like, it's one system, one player.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Like, one of my fondest memories, was going over to my friend's house playing Modern Warfare 2 on a 4-player split screen, and just sharing the mic with each other if there was a random girl that popped in, and just hitting on her, taking turns hitting on her. It's just like, but that's fun.
Like brown oppression.
Yeah. You're a misogynist and brown.
Right?
Strike 2.
Yeah.
No.
Got one more, man.
Here's the thing, those.
Might hear one Durga. That'll be it, man.
Go ahead, Deal.
But yeah, just people underestimate what couch gaming. They're devaluing what couch gaming is, and a lot of couch gaming is just interacting with your friends while you're playing a game. I wish there was more focus on solid co-op play on the couch, not
Right.
just online, but like have an equal focus.
And what's funny is you're seeing a lot of that on Steam games.
Yeah.
You see a lot of indie Steam games that are co-op only local, and combine it with just a media center PC or something, just something hooked up to the TV. Bam, you have a lot of little, at least fun 2-player games. There are some 4-player ones out there. Indies are starting to fill the gap sometimes on that stuff.
For sure.
Mhm, for
And
sure.
social gaming is one of Nintendo's, cornerstones in the sense that they want to bring families together around the TV and have them playing games. And
That's why
I
they're
think that's a
trying
noble
so hard to
goal.
make the Miiverse a thing.
Right. Well, and it is apparently. It's really. I mean, shit. When I got my Wii U, I was hooked on that. But I mean, it's basically fucking glorified message board for all intents and purposes. But it does add a new layer to the game that's kind
Oh
of fun.
god, it's a family-friendly 8chan.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's just like 4chan, but like for kids.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool though because like
Does that mean Nintendo's trading terrorists?
yes, they are. But you can go
You
in
heard it
there.
here first.
Yeah, they're teaching kids how to stomp turtles and fucking eat mushrooms.
This is
All I
what we-
know is I never had the turtle hatred that I have inside me until I played Mario.
right.
And it ingrained in me such seething hatred for turtles that I
This
had to stop
breeds
everyone.
This breeds the toxic masculinity from an early age. Like from age 4 on, teach them the ways of the toxic masculinity.
I love how
Right,
you have
buy
to
a
say
Goomba
it
stomp.
slow.
But no, I mean, Miiverse is a neat thing in the sense that you can ask how to make Metroid duck and stuff. So it's a really magical place. But no, I mean, I really dig what Nintendo's doing. But I will fully agree with the
I like how
with
whenever
the
you
sense
boot
that
it
if you're a
up, though, it
hardcore
does the,
gamer.
I like how when you boot it up though, it does like here's what like most people are playing right now.
No, that's
You
your. Oh, you mean the Miiverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you first boot it up, it's like here's what most people are playing right now, and they all gravitate towards a specific game or area. And it's like that's kind of cool to be able to see what most of the people who
It
are
is.
playing right now are doing.
It is. But before I lose my train of thought, I just wanted to mention that I do agree with the sentiment that if you consider yourself a more hardcore gamer, buy a Wii U along, as a supplement for, your Xbox One or PS4 or whatever, But I mean, it's a worthwhile system. It's got plenty of good stuff on it with more to come. So, I mean, that new Zelda, if you guys have seen the footage, it looks amazing, and I
Yeah,
can't
they'd
wait
like
to
to
play
beat
it.
around the bush and be like, oh, well, it's not truly an open world. I'm like, no, fuck you. That is an open world. You guys did it. Thank you.
And I can fully envision like the game being the first actual true real 3D realization of the original Legend of Zelda's kind of open world,
You talking like the Link to the Past or the OG?
I'm
NES
talking
Zelda?
about the old OG NES one where you're set out in the world. I mean, you're drawn
It's
towards
dangerous.
that cave
It's dangerous to go alone.
right? And then after, take this, and then after that though, you're free to explore, within your means, and I think that's what they're going for with this one, and if it works out well, this will be the first real kind of 3D realization of the original Zelda games.
I really hope that it's the classic story with it, and they didn't just like, oh, well, we're gonna go a new story because it's a new world. Like, I really would love to have
they're gonna
Temple
do
of
that.
Time and the Triforce and all of that in.
Well, I'm sure the Triforce is cornerstone of the series. I'm sure it'll be represented in some way.
They've had games
They'll
where
just
it's like
spin
it's
off of the timeline.
represented, but they've had games where it's represented,
Sure.
but it's just not the centerpiece of the story.
Sure, and those are more the portable games, though. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess.
but yeah. I mean,
Majora's Mask was a
Majora's Mask, right. But yeah,
I have a bone to pick with the beginning of that game.
Yeah.
Zelda hands you the Ocarina of Time. Why is she handing you essentially the key to the fucking Temple of Time and sending you off on your journey?
well, you just saved the world, or kind of did. The older version of you might.
Yeah, I get that, but it's just like, okay, what you need to open the Temple of Time, you just gave me and then sent me along my way.
Yeah. Well, hey. Was it the Ocarina of Time that she gave you, or just one generic?
It was the Ocarina, because even Majora's Mask, whenever he goes to use it, actually says Ocarina of Time, and it says was gifted to you by Princess Zelda.
Okay.
John Apocalypse said that they're going to take away the tunic and.
Yeah, he thinks they are.
I got a feeling like that it's one of them things where every one of them has, besides the 64-bit versions, that moment where you're not quite the hero of time yet.
Right.
And you go through your little transitioning period where you slowly start to become the hero of time.
Right.
Typically, it's your 3 starter dungeons, and then you go and do your 7 adult dungeons or your 7 hero of time dungeons.
Twilight Princess opened up that way. Wind Waker opened up that way.
Yep. Wind Waker was a little quicker to get you your clothes.
Right.
But it still set up that same purpose of you going to be the hero of time that this world needs. Because that's the thing with Zelda games, right? They always take place after huge time skips.
Right.
And like what it is the gods will sense that something, some great evil's about to happen, and they will make sure that the hero of time is in place whenever he's needed.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I don't see the iconic Zelda or Link garb, being left out of the game entirely. I mean, it's entirely possible that and then who knows? Maybe with the more open world kind of Dark Souls-esque thing they're going with, they might be looking to allow you to customize Link a little bit, tailor him to your style. Who knows? But that is yet to be seen. But I would imagine that if it goes the more traditional route, we'll be seeing Link sporting his tunic, somewhere along the way.
His green tunic and white leggings.
Right. Yeah. his fucking tutu and his ballerina slippers. The ballerina slippers of time.
Oh man.
Now, does anybody actually think that the Zelda U is going to be called Zelda U, or are we going to get a proper title at some point?
No, we're gonna get a proper title. Come on now.
Yeah. It won't be Zelda U. No.
I'm curious which part of the timeline this takes. This Zelda.
A lot of people are predicting that it's going to take place just after Skyward Sword. It'll be the one that falls in between Skyward Sword and the original Zelda.
Or after Wind Waker.
I was thinking, yeah, that's where I was going with it. Like, it's either before or after Wind Waker. Like, that's my guess.
Well, the thing with Wind Waker is Wind Waker took place directly after Ocarina of Time.
Well, not
directly after,
But yeah, no, that was the world after, Ocarina of Time. But, that's why I think they would place it after Wind Waker, after Link and Zelda went off to find, new land and, create a new Hyrule, I think.
Well, actually, no. Wind Waker would take place directly after the adults' timeline.
Oh, let's not get into that.
I know, but this is actually the way that the lore is broken. So.
Oh, I know. I've got the Hyrule Historia sitting on my shelf.
So do I.
Yeah.
The adult timeline would say that Wind Waker would be nicely succession with Ocarina, whereas if you were to follow the younger Link's timeline, it would be Majora's Mask.
But here's something that's indisputable. Regardless of where it falls on the fucking timeline, fans are going to speculate and argue about it for years. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then a few years down the line, Nintendo's going to release another book, and it's going to have an expanded timeline. It's going to have a few more forks and paths and crossovers.
Right. It's just going to be the original Hyrule Historia with like 10 new pages.
And then they'll friggin' New 52 it, and they'll collapse it all.
No, dude, if they end up New 52ing the Zelda timeline, that would be kind of amazing. And like Link actually is able to talk.
Right.
See, what's the thing is with the Zelda timeline is
I'm
I
not
almost feel like
anymore.
the fans almost had a better timeline going than the actual developers did. Like when the developers released the timeline, there was already a fan-made timeline out there.
And see, a lot of those games were made at a time where there was no necessity for a connection. You just put those games out and let them stand on their own. And it wasn't until the fans started going, well, where does this game fit? Where does this game fit? That they started being a little bit more conscientious about it. Yeah. Like with Skyward Sword basically being the start of everything. And then, going on from there and shit. So, and I kind of miss those days, man. You could put out a sequel to a game and not necessarily have it be connected to those old games.
Yeah.
Now, wait, here's the thing. Final Fantasy does that.
Yeah.
Like each Final Fantasy.
But at the same time, though, I think it was Final Fantasy
12.
No, it was 10.
12 took place in the same place.
7. 10 and 7.
Right.
Wait, where did 12 take place?
In Ivalice, the same setting as the Final Fantasy Tactics game.
Oh,
Yeah,
alright,
and it
well,
also took place in.
fucking 10, 2, and 7. There's a character named Shinra, and I'm not saying, oh, well, that just links back to Sinner Corporation. No. There's a line he says where he's talking about the energy of the power plane, and we could possibly one day harness the energy of the dead to power, to use as a power source.
Yeah, I remember somebody pointing out that line.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, that's direct link to the Sinner Corporation. So, like, in that right, they both kind of connect to Final Fantasy X and 7, but I don't know, like, there's loose connections.
Right. Whereas the Zelda games, originally as they were kind of created,
They really didn't
were
have
not
a connection at all.
right. Yeah, they were not meant to connect. And now they do. So have fun with that, you nerds.
Like, at some point, if not Sony, but if Square Enix wanted to, they could do something where, like, there's a rip in time and space, and now Tidus, Cloud, Leon.
They did that. It's called Dissidia.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like every main character from every Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. There you go. Every main character from every Final Fantasy series, Lightning. They'll put Lightning on the box, but you don't play as her.
Thank you, God. That is already like 10 out of 10.
Hey, I thought Lightning was hot. I mean, a good character.
No, let's be honest. Just to fuck with your
Gotta
emotions.
watch out for the colored hair.
They'll put Cloud on the box, but you play as Tidus.
Oh no, Josh just confirmed that fucking she's a SJW.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for that colored hair.
Yeah, Lightning.
Oh man.
That was great.
She's all for the freedom of the sea.
Guys, I will confess right now that the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played myself was 9. And
9's a great one, though.
yeah, I dug it a lot. So I see my whole thing with RPGs, like I'm intrigued by the genre, but I'm too obsessive when I play games. Like if I'm not going down this other fork, or picking up this treasure chest or whatever, I'm freaking out, wondering like, should I start over? Am I fucked? Because I don't want to invest 40 fucking hours in a game and then get to the end and be fucked.
Deal. Do you have Steam open right now?
Who? Me? Yes.
Yeah. You're the only
do me a
deal in
favor.
here.
Run a search for the original Deus Ex.
Okay.
Day of Sex.
Let me know how much it is if it's on Steam.
All right.
Oh
Dave.
God, you can find the original Deus Ex for like $2 sometimes.
It is $6.99.
All right, Marco, that'll be the game I buy you. Just so you know who Adam Jensen is.
No, you're talking about Human Revolution. Dude.
Yeah, I was just about to say Human Revolution.
All right. I wasn't aware that they were different.
But you should play the first one.
Yeah, the first one is
second.
definitely. Yeah, do not buy Invisible War. Play Deus Ex. Play Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Invisible War isn't the worst game in the world, just sheesh. It's not good.
No. Here's the best way to put Invisible War. It is a good game. It's not a good Deus Ex game.
It's the war you should never see.
Yep.
All right, so should we jump on the next topics because we went on a nice little tangent there and lasted a good while.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, we got the new 3DS, 3DS XL Majora's Mask Edition selling for $400 online. We got Uncharted 4 won't be 60 frames per second if it harms the player experience. Or we got the Xbox One price dropping again to $350.
And apparently this time permanently.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So which one do we want out of those three?
Well, let's go with the Xbox One price drop since that's kind of...
All right.
Does anyone know the comparison of sales between Xbox One and the PlayStation 4?
That's the thing, is they haven't brought up numbers since, I think, late May, early June.
And the real fishy thing about it's marketing. The thing about numbers is a lot of the time they give you the numbers of the units they've sold to retail, not the units that have sold from retail.
Right.
So,
and that number is artificially high, but if you're selling that many units, you got to guess that stores are only going to buy so many boxes
Yeah, I mean, they'll sell eventually, even if they're not sold technically right now to a consumer. They're sold as far as Sony is concerned.
Right.
And so we may be seeing the fact that they're dropping the price may be a hallmark that PlayStation 4 is actually beating out the Xbox One in terms of sales. Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of that, I don't think it's all entirely to do, but originally when you had the whole DRM thing going on, and PlayStation 4 was like, hey, look, we're not Xbox.
Oh, I think that's definitely responsible in large part for the sales disparity because, you know, I still talk to people now who are weary. I mean, especially in light of what happened with Far Cry 4, kind of like folks would buy the digital version of it and not be able to play it. And the Xbox would tell them, like, do you have a license for this? And apparently it was just some little technical snafu, but, you know, to your average person, that's going to give them the perception that maybe...
The setting was wrong.
Yeah, it was some stupid shit like that.
It's the same thing with, like, whenever the game came out in general, right? Like, you relied on... Because E3 is the big show that everyone gets all their news from, right? They don't really look the days or the months following to see what's changed or what's different now. So... Like I told you before, like I meet average gamers still that don't know that the policies were changed. That's no longer a thing. That you can take your Kinect, wig it out the window, and it doesn't matter.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I still talk to a lot of people who are like, you know, I want to wait another year or two, see what Microsoft's doing with the DRM, see if you know, they don't change their minds. Because a lot of people's concern was that, like, once they got a big enough install base, they would release a game, you know, that requires you, you know, basically brings the old DRM back into focus, and it would be like something like a new Halo game or something that would, you know, pretty much compel people to fucking get on board with that shit, you know.
Yeah, but see, they're not going to do that because as soon as you do that, you guarantee your next console will never sell.
Right, and they're not going to, you know, for sure. And I made the same argument, like, you know, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot in a big way, and but there is still that concern, and so I think a lot of people are, you know, on the fence about it. Like me, I want one. I'm gonna get one, and especially now that they've dropped the price to a reasonable, you know, number. But you know, I a lot of the conversations I'm having with folks are just, you know, along the lines of I don't own one because I'm not sure what Microsoft's gonna do. So I think that has some merit for sure.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of what Josh has said before about they're not entirely sure what they're going to do.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you know,
they're more defined now, but boy, at launch, if either one of Sony or Microsoft would have had a more firm of a stance on whatever they were going to do, things would have been better. They would have been less rocky. It's just the console market's sick right now. The console is not dying. The console area is just kind of a little sick right now.
Transitional phase, really.
Like the first few years are always huge transitional phases. However,
it's not until about now where you start seeing games that only release on next-gen consoles that you see like the major jump over people, you know, finally committing and shit like that.
I wish it would happen sooner.
But guys, don't forget that we just talked about last week about how PlayStation 4 is set for record sales.
Right.
Wasn't like
actually, John Apocalypse has just pointed out those are units. Those are units sold to
unit shipped
stores, not shipped.
Yeah, or not sold. Because usually when they talk about those sales numbers, they're units shipped to stores, not sold through to customers.
Yeah,
they'll be sold eventually.
Well, unless
they're gone as far as the company's concerned.
Oh no, wait. The way he has this worded is that has sold 18.5 and not shipped. So
yeah,
I'm assuming it's the other way around.
I mean, given that PlayStation Plus subscriptions are up by a huge margin, I would imagine that. I mean, considering, you know, the attach rate for online services like that is still relatively low, you know, we can kind of extrapolate from that, you know, the PS4 is selling. I mean, you know, but how much? I mean, if it is that 18 million units sold through to customers, that's fantastic. I would like to see what Microsoft's doing.
Oh, shit, and we got a fucking giant robot by the name of Optimus Deadpool in the chat. Do you want in, guy?
Yeah, man.
You want in, buddy?
Not if you talk to him like that. He's not a fucking dog. Come on.
Hey, come on, boy.
Here, puppy. Here. All right. Okay. So let's get back on
Damn,
topic.
dog.
I guess I'm the only one who respected Optimus Deadpool in the morning.
Prime, oh god.
Optimus Dead Prime. Why does that name sound so metal?
Yeah, it does.
Optimus Prime.
I will name that my next metal band.
But
Alright,
yeah,
so hold on.
so what do you
that
guys
is
think
there.
about the,
That's gotta be my outro music. Just.
So what do you guys think about the Xbox? And he's on board, by the way, to come in. So
I'll
what
get
do you
him.
guys think about the Xbox One price drop? I mean, do you think it's necessary, a necessary move and a good idea? Or
Well,
what?
obviously they did it for a reason. And it wasn't
Sure.
just out of goodwill.
Yeah.
So my guess is it's probably to boost sales. I mean,
Yeah.
especially you're talking about. Well, okay, here we go. Not only Christmas has just ended, so not everyone's looking for an Xbox,
Sure.
but people will be getting their tax checks back.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
people who maybe like you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about college age people or people who just got out of college recently, who are sitting on a bunch of money and they didn't get anything. They didn't get an Xbox for Christmas because they're independent adults now. So whenever they get that tax check back, they're gonna put stuff towards bills and stuff where they're gonna have a little bit left over, and they're gonna be like, "What can I spend this on?" Oh, look,
Right.
the Xbox One just dropped in $50.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, my opinion is along the same lines. It definitely seems like a necessity. I mean, the fact that Microsoft, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but wasn't Microsoft traditionally pretty boisterous and, or not boisterous, but verbose when it came to their sales numbers and whatnot in the past? Right.
Wait, what happened? I totally zoned.
Oh, I was saying, wasn't Microsoft
guess-
kind of what's up?
As far as sales numbers go, any company is going to toot their own horn when they're winning.
Right, and that's
uh,
the point I was getting
yeah.
at for sure. Yeah,
Sony spent, I think anybody here who was like around for the PS2 generation, they started conferences by saying, "Here's our sales numbers,"
right.
and it was so annoying because it took them like 3 hours to get to the game.
Yeah, right.
And
Pretty
it was.
much, here's our big
Promise, we're doing well.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
here's our
but I
big-
mean, they would
No. Here's the thing.
start their press conferences at E3 with that shit.
No,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, Sony did it to show everybody how much of a dump they were taking on everybody else.
That's exactly right. They would put a screen up and they would show like Sony, and they always said Sony consoles. They never said like PS2. They said Sony consoles. They always did a cumulative thing.
Right.
They always said so that was like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1,
PSP.
PSP. So they would throw that all on there in one graph, and then so smugly they would point, they have a pointer, and it's like, as you can see, we are leading this generation. And you notice in PS3 during the PS3 era, they didn't say a word.
Right,
about
right.
sales.
Yeah.
They might a quick quip is like, we have an installed base of X amount for the PS3 console.
That would be
I know a positive way to word it, even if they're not winning.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can't say, like, look at all these, delicious dollar signs. They have to say, well, we got this nice installed base. So that's basically telling investors, hey, look, guys, the systems are out there, so it's okay. Y'all can comment.
Devs, we
Right.
promise. Devs, we promise there's buyers out there for your games.
Right.
Yeah.
And that leads me into what I was the point I wanted to make with Microsoft is the fact that they're not speaking about sales. Is very telling. I think.
Yeah,
You know.
and I think you were talking about, like, they made the $50 price drop a permanent price drop.
I believe so. Right.
They had to.
Yeah.
They absolutely had
Let
to.
me also
They
point
had
out
no
something.
choice in the matter. You rolling back a price drop is the absolute dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
I
entire life.
agree.
And the fact
Yeah,
that it lasted
absolutely.
2 weeks tells me exactly what I needed to know.
Right. Yeah, we touched on that last week. I think. Right.
Yeah. Well, I was saying it was a dumb idea from
Yeah.
a consumer, especially for the consumer side. It's like, well, I would have bought it last week, and but this week I had the money, but that's $50 more. No.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll just go buy this thing instead. you know?
I
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for your wise words changing Microsoft's decision.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you obviously had a bug sent up Phil Spencer's ass, so.
No. So, see, Microsoft, they have like aggregators out there. They hear the words Microsoft, Xbox, Xbone, Xbox One. So it's just constantly going out there, and they found this stream, and they're like, that green Autobot is correct.
Yeah. that
Man, I don't know who this nigga is. Who this nigga's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So There's
I
really
also
not much
want to
more
add to this too.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we
Go for it.
talked about how the Xbox One this price drop was indicative of them trying to boost console sales.
Sure.
I'm also going to guess that what else factored into this, and we talked about this last week, was Destiny, about how it was only allowed to be advertised by PlayStation. Destiny released, and it released with a huge amount of fanfare on September 9th, which is coming into the Christmas season. So all the kids who are saying, Mom, Dad, I really want Destiny, I want this game. Well, the parents, they're not going to go and research this thoroughly.
They're gonna look at the advertisements.
They're gonna look at the advertisement. They're gonna see PlayStation. Oh, well, I guess I got to get my kid a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I saw that commercial during my CSI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all the kids who wanted to upgrade to a system, upgrade their console, I'm betting there was a good number of parents who ended up buying the PlayStation 4 solely because their kid wanted Destiny and possibly Call of Duty or whatever, and they saw Destiny and they thought it was only for PlayStation.
Right.
Now they're stuck with that filthy white or glacier white PS4.
Right.
Why would you? No. Glacier White is beautiful.
It is whenever it's clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That thing's a fingerprint magnet.
No, any amount of dust on that fucking thing, and you can see it from a mile away.
Honestly, if I'm going to be absolutely, completely, brutally honest, I would rather have Glacier White than a gloss black finish.
Oh, see, I'm all gloss.
I can't stand the gloss because that's just, I see fingerprints and I lose my mind.
Oh yeah, it's still very fingerprint heavy, but I'm just like everything I own in my room, like every system is black. If I had it one white thing, it would just be like, this breaks the circle. I know.
A little more
Right,
diversity
that's
in your
racist.
console.
Confirmed that Rotten Rye is a reverse racist.
A little bit more diversity in your console lineup there, Ryan.
Yeah, it's like, don't you know you got to have at least one white console in your.
Dude, think about it. Even my Yeti mic is black.
He buys the old the basic Wii U set.
My remote is black.
It's a
Happens
purple
when you're down with the clown.
Black.
Don't be mad because he has more black friends than you.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't anybody find it funny? He said my Yeti is black, and when you think of a Yeti, you never think anything black. How did you manage to find a black abominable snowman?
Dude, I'll tell you right now,
Yeah,
man.
it's
It was a lot
Bigfoot, isn't it?
easier. Look, it was a lot easier than finding a white one.
I was gonna say, isn't it Bigfoot? Isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yetis and
Sam Fletch.
Yetis and abominable snowmen are more what is it called? God, we're getting off a quick tangent. But they're more like European in the Alps kind of
Gotcha.
thing. And Bigfoots are more, North American.
I'll have to consult Tenacious D.
Yeah, because
for-
these fictional things are. We got to make sure we get them geographically correct.
But
We need to be politically correct. Come on, guys. Like,
now, hey guys,
we would be. Yeah.
do we have anything else to say on this subject? Because I would like to talk about something else real quick, since Wayne's in here.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Go
Well,
for it, man.
we talked about PlayStation Now last week,
Mhm.
and now Sony rolled it out, and they're giving away a free 7-day trial
Mhm.
to the service for folks to check it out. And yeah, I enrolled, and I've been playing on it. They've got a little selection of games.
And I saw you had put a video together of it, so.
Yeah, but
I watched, and I gotta say, so far so good. So.
yeah. And the thing is, I definitely recommend folks play it on a decent connection, hardwired. And any faults you see in the video that I put up on my channel is my video card going wonky.
Okay.
So yeah. So you'll see a lot of freezes and a lot of video glitches, and
That
that's
was
just
more
my
video tearing than more and less.
right.
Video encoding.
Yeah, I played.
Software blocks.
I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 is on there. I played a bit of that. It worked great. The only game that I've been having trouble with is Sonic Generation. It's got massive input lag. But everything else, even the most Twitch-based games like God of War or whatever, works.
So Ultra Street Fighter 4 was even that was playable to actually play well because that's going to be an input lag
Yeah. Now,
you gotta have
Adil,
latency on that.
Adil would probably not like it in the sense that he's one of those frame counting sons of bitches who does those fucking execution perfect fucking combos and shit. So he wouldn't like it. But for the casual fighter like me, it worked fantastic. So
I've always been curious as far as frame perfect goes. Is 60 frames harder to count than 30?
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. It's
double the fucking.
Yeah, it's double the frames per second.
Yeah,
I know
and
that.
I mean,
I'm
literally,
saying, like,
that sounds
Oh, yeah,
obvious.
I was-
But each frame has.
To
so
give
many
you a good
frames.
example of like frame counting, I think Adil would agree with me here. Take Street Fighter 2, like the old school arcade game, and
Right.
compare that to Marvel versus Capcom.
Right.
And we're talking about some moves and some reactions that are like literally 1/60th of a second is your fucking window of execution. So, I mean,
I knew Odile can back me up on that. Like I guess it was really. I mean, the Darkstalkers games didn't really have that much of a.
No,
Oh.
here's the thing. Every fighting game ever made, like every Street Fighter, every Mortal Kombat, every BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, all these games are 60 FPS. There's no difference. However, the difference in between like the Marvel games and Street Fighter games in that sense is the like animation speed.
right.
That's
Yeah,
all.
the frames of animation and stuff like
So
that.
the original Street Fighter, which ran really extremely slow, was still 60 frames per second, but we're talking about a slower animation speed.
A very limited animation palette, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that too. But
Compared
yeah,
to where like Marvel Capcom, where you had like, where like you're doing a punch with like one frame, for example. I'm just giving an example.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's exactly right. Where a punch was one frame in Street Fighter 2, it could be 5 frames in
Right.
a Marvel Capcom game
'Cause of the
it was just
drawn-out
better
animation.
animated and things like that.
right.
And frame counting can be done. The biggest hang up. The one that it kind of like it's iffy on and trying to do a frame count is freaking like 3D games, 3D
Right.
fighters, because it's a little more fluid, so it can be done, but you got to be good.
Right.
So, okay, now I didn't really follow gaming news that often back whenever these came out, but Deception and Deadly Alliance, were they just not well received in the fighting game community or
They
something?
were the problem at that point. They had saturated Mortal Kombat so badly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Deadly
think
Alliance was kind of well received. They kind of like, it was kind of liked. But then when you started like putting Deception and then
Armageddon.
Armageddon on top of all that, it needed to be revamped at that point because
Absolutely.
it got ridiculous. And then they came out with the Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, which was terrible.
That was after MK9, wasn't it?
No,
That
it
was
was before. And in
Was it?
fact, they censored the Joker's fatality and gave it to Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 9.
Mhm.
They just changed him from into a generic clown-like creature. But yeah, they took his they censored his fatality in DC and then
Yeah,
put it in there.
DC characters weren't allowed to do fatalities.
Yeah, it was called
It was like
Brutalities.
brutality or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh, big surprise! Batman beats the shit out of somebody.
right.
I still think the coolest one was the Flash, though, because he just pummeled you until you died.
But yeah, bringing this back to what I was saying, I just wanted to give you a heads up about the trial. It's working great, and if you've, you see a little bit of artifacting and shit, which is, it is what it is. Don't sit so close to your TV. But aside from that, I have not encountered a game yet aside from Sonic Generations, which I don't really need to play anyway.
you weren't so pressed about that one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honestly glad to hear that because I want this service to succeed. Don't get me wrong. I really want it to work. Yeah. Because in the event we don't have backwards compatibility,
right.
a service like that, still not happy about the price, but a service like that would be more ideal than getting rid of all your games.
For sure. And now I'm glad you brought up the price, because with the current slate of available games, I would not pay $20 a month for.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some decent stuff in there. You get both Darksiders, you get like Ultra Street Fighter 4, you get God of War Ascension and whatnot. But yeah, at the current load up, I would not.
Would you say like your break point would probably be like 200-ish?
Yeah. Throw another 100 games
nice
or something.
meaty selection. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So as it stands, I wouldn't pay the $20, but get in on the. I do encourage people, if you go to the PlayStation Store now on your console, you should be able to get a free 7-day trial. So
We got PlayStation from Xbox One's price cut. So
yeah.
Well,
that's how we roll, man. That's how we roll.
PlayStation
Xbox One's
Master
kind of
Race.
boring to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. We're down to 2 now. We got
Uncharted.
You want to talk about Uncharted?
Let's tackle it, man.
All right.
Uncharted, the developers.
So Uncharted 4
Oh,
won't be
he's gonna do
60 frames. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's my show. Is it alright if I do it?
No, it doesn't matter.
I think it's time for a coup.
And by the way, if I could kick you out right now,
Down with
you'd be
Rye.
You're a beta male.
You guys want to mute me? All right, we'll let the viewers decide. Let them take over the show, or have me kick everybody out. And you guys.
You realize like we're probably the viewers at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Rye, you want to talk about that? Let's open up that fucking room.
All right.
But now go to it.
Yeah, we got okay. Naughty Dog came out and did a press release that said, if Uncharted for 60 frames per second harms the player experience, fuck off, harms the player experience, then Uncharted 4 will not be 60.
Yeah.
Oh shit! How could 60 frames a second harm the player experience?
Contingency.
Well, it was very much. Hold on a second, because it was very much the same way they looked at Last of Us. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a totally bullshit excuse. But they're like, oh, well, it's not as cinematic as an experience. So it's like, no, fuck you. You're just having trouble developing in 60. Just admit it.
Right.
Because even when you got parts of the film industry moving away from the standard of that old standard, it's
Right.
30 frames a second isn't even the true cinematic.
Well, I mean, take it like this, though. Take it like this, guys. DMC was released on the PS3 and Xbox 360. And it was locked at 30 frames. They're doing a re-release of that for the Xbox One and PS4, and one of the selling points is 60 frames. So it is.
Oh, you know what another selling point for that game could be? Actual fucking Dante. Sorry.
No, he is a skin. He is a skin. So.
Oh, all right, I'm pleased.
Yeah.
I'm more looking forward to the DMC4 remake.
Yeah, for
redo.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up with both.
Haven't you heard, Wayne? They are rebooting it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I want that more than. I don't care about DMC.
They're going to reboot it all through the new DMC universe.
No,
DMC4 is
no. Like the new DMC can go screw itself. Like I hate that game.
Really? Because it's in my opinion, it's not a bad game in and of itself. It's just not a worthy Devil May Cry game.
They just kind of like squander all of the character rights that they have there.
Let's put it. I'll put it absolutely. I think this will be a fair point to make. It would be a good game if you didn't call it DMC.
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's kind
I
of
gotta
like
say that the name does bug the hell out of me, because if you look at the box, it says DMC Devil May Cry. So what you're essentially saying is Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Like an ATM machine.
Thank you, marketing.
But no, I fully agree, Optimus. You know, I think that if it stands on its own well as a good action game, but
just to give the example of like calling something that it's something that shouldn't be called that.
Right.
I only have to bring up Godzilla 1998.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell this brief story of an experience. I was hyped for that movie, like beyond hyped, because I am a huge Godzilla fan.
Remember, this is a brief story.
Yeah, no. It's very brief. I'm just, Godzilla and Transformers are on the same level with me. That'll tell you how much I love Godzilla. Okay.
So if Godzilla was wearing a lantern ring.
Yeah, I would have that. Actually, they have a. Never mind. I've seen art.
So
anyway.
So what you're saying is DMC needs more Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. There you go. No. I had went because our movie theater was in a mall, so I was like, I'm gonna go to the mall, hang out with my boys, and we're gonna go see the movie. It's gonna be awesome. I went by Spencer's, right?
Yeah.
And they released their posters early. Because nobody had seen Godzilla until, the big surprise, you're going to see him on screen, right? Well, they had released their posters early. I saw that thing that they tried to pass off as Godzilla, and I said, nope, and went home.
Oh, hell no!
You're talking about the 2000 Godzilla.
No, 1998 Godzilla. 2000 Godzilla was a revamp from Japan. But,
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually the funny thing is, whenever they got the contract or the rights back, they took our Godzilla, the 1998 Godzilla, and they renamed him and just called him Zilla.
Yeah, his name is Zilla, and then in Godzilla Final Wars, he
whooped the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Wait, so ours ended up in a Japanese movie?
Yeah.
Toho has the rights to the monster.
Nice. Yeah, right.
They renamed it and then killed it.
Yeah, they renamed it Zilla.
As it should have been.
They renamed it Zilla and then blasted him with atomic breath.
Well done, Japan.
Yeah,
Thank you, Toho. Thumbs up. Two of them.
Speaking of the guy who made that movie, even though we're not, they're making, I guess, another couple Independence Day flicks too. So
But
Anyway, back to the subject
Yeah.
of
Less Will Smith though.
I don't know, like
the 30 frames, 60 frames.
I think
Yeah,
I think it's kind of funny that you'll see like the PlayStation fanboys, and anytime that like the Xbox comes out, and they're like, oh well, this game is not going to be 1080p. It'll be 60 frames, it won't be 1080p. They'll slam it. But as soon as this comes out, they're all like, oh well, as long as the game's good, I don't care. It's like, what?
Yeah.
How
well,
the
that's-
hell, you fucking devil advocate son of a bitch? Like, fucking play the other card. Don't fucking.
Okay. I'm gonna say something a little bit controversial here.
Fanboys suck.
Well, yeah, that, and if the game is good, the frame rates don't matter.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Oh no,
I
they
can
really
agree.
don't.
If the game is
can agree with
designed,
this.
if
They
the
really
game is
don't.
designed around that frames per second, then that's great.
Yeah, like realistically, the frame rate shouldn't matter as much as people chalk it up to be. But whenever like fanboys will bitch and moan about talking about how a game is not up to snuff, and it's like, and then the game comes out on their console that isn't up to snuff, they're like, oh well, it's okay. It's like, what?
Right.
Why? You fucking assholes! Like,
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but that's why most times you ignore fanboys. So
Right.
Okay.
No, I do. Yeah, go ahead, Adil.
No, I was gonna say I have a different perspective on it, and like here's the thing, 60 FPS is imperative. Like for someone like me, simply because like I can tell jitter, like stuff looks jittery to me in 30 FPS,
Well, like,
especially in a video game.
Well, okay.
Well,
Well, what I'm making a point is here. This is going to sound silly, but think about what I'm about to say. Would Shovel Knight benefit from being at 60 frames per second?
no.
it is.
Okay, that's kind of saying. Give me a good game. I mean, if it's like supposed to be designed to run at 60 and it's running at 30, like, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
that's an
which
option.
is-
That's
Which
an-
is what
that's an
people's
option.
problem with DMC was. That was a game that was traditionally, very smooth, 60 frames, and
Very, very smooth, very quick. Yeah,
Right.
and it's like they slowed it down.
right.
Yeah.
And see, I think for games that require
but see the thing with that, whenever they slowed it down, I've had a lot of people tell me that it's more accessible.
well, I don't know.
No. Yeah, that's BS. Well, hold on.
Like when you're playing a fighting or an action game that's really fast paced, you're going to want that 60 frames per second, so you have the reaction times, and you can, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. Fighting games, for example.
Oh god.
No. DMC is this. You have to treat every spectacle fighter game as essentially another type of fighting game.
Right, exactly.
They have to be in 60 FPS. They have to have like frame perfect movements.
Right, Yeah.
Like it's just necessary.
right.
All right,
And-
now
but then
John
for something
Apocalypse in chat said Last of Us doesn't need to be 60 frames, and that's true. It
right,
really
I was just going to mention that actually.
but it's the same
it-
depth, too.
It runs smooth. Like the PS4 version, when you knock it up to 60 frames per second, it's fantastic, but not quite as necessary, perhaps, as a smooth frame rate in a fighting game. So,
Yeah.
Like, I had fun with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on PSP, and it runs at 20 frames a second. But it's already built around 20 frames a second.
right. I have played games that run like slideshows, and
Mm-hmm.
so
For
as long
example, Flipbook, Flipbook's the game.
Whoa! I thought you were about to say fuckbook the game. It's like
It's a whole different story.
I've been to that
Yeah,
site.
well, that's our new advertiser, guys. Go shit.
Link, please.
That's what we call native
Hold on,
advertising.
hold
We
on,
just
hold
work
on.
right into the
Hold on,
show.
hold on.
That's almost
Enter the promotional code. And
yeah. That's almost as bad as that time I advocated underage smoking.
Here's my first Let's Play. Kids, go smoke.
Yeah, I'm doing my Let's Play, and I'm like, kids, if you gotta smoke, at least smoke additive.
It just reminded me of what me and my friend did. Remember, y'all know. We talked about. I think we talked about it before. The GI Joe PSAs where people rewrote them and
Yeah.
redubbed them.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Yeah, the pork chop sandwiches. Well, I didn't know until like a few years ago. Even I didn't know that there were Transformer PSAs.
Oh yeah.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, and when I found out, it's like Bumblebee saying don't do this and blah blah blah. They didn't know. I think they did them for like 5 episodes, and then it's like, well, GI Joe's got to get that more, market cornered, so let them do it.
Right.
But we thought about it. It's like, dude, could you imagine? It was me and my friend, really good friend, just as big a Transformer fan as I am, and he said, could you imagine if Megatron did a PSA? And it's like, like take the example, the kids that were like getting ready to jump over the wire. and then Roadblock stopped them, you know? And it's like, you know, it's like, hey, let's jump over this wire, and Megatron's like, don't do that! And it's like, Megatron, here, take this gun and kill your parents!
Yes, kill your parents.
So, like, I was like, what if the bad guys did PSAs? It would be
Do all the heroin. Yeah. Ecstasy makes you feel good. Don't forget to drink water, children. And knowing is half the battle. Cobra!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hydra.
I'm still stuck on that fucking ecstasy shit, dude. I'm actually gonna have to go get a beer. I'll be right back. If you guys want to transfer to the next topic, I want to leave my final wording on this.
Right.
Either way, they were gonna decide to go on this. Not a Dog is a great developer, and I trust their judgment wholeheartedly. So
Sure, and that's the thing. I mean, if we're talking multiplayer, it would, you know, probably benefit a little bit better from 60 frames. But as long as the main campaign doesn't suffer for it, I can't find it in myself.
I would choose better gameplay over 60 frames.
I
Sure.
would
Sounds like
choose
a
60 frames still. It's just the thing. Oh, hold on. Here's my final word on that.
It's a
the
brown
fact.
people issue.
No. It's more so that I'm like, I think it's more so because I'm also an animation student, plus I'm also a fighting game player.
Right.
It is an issue to me because I notice like small jitters and inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Sure.
as fluid and it bothers me.
Well, sure, and
You're OCD, basically.
yeah, on a subjective level, I suppose I can fucking dismiss that because you're brown. No,
Okay.
no, I'm kidding. No, I get it, and that's the thing. I mean, I think for you, and especially coming from that fighting game background, it's always gonna bug you. But for me, like, I turn up the frame rate on Last of Us.
Now, I will say, though, I will take frame rate over maybe graphics quality.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, and that's an
I'll give
option
it-
that The Last
I-
of Us gives you.
I will.
I will gladly downgrade to 720p if it means smooth 60 frames.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You know,
agree.
just PC, yeah, PC, you do that a lot.
Right.
Guys, there's this thing called the Master Race of PC.
Yeah, right.
Stop that. That has historical implications.
What, that PCs are superior in every way?
Historically, yes.
Okay, so last topic that we've got on the agenda today is the new 3DS Majora's Mask Edition. It's selling online for over $400, and you know, what's your thoughts on this secondary market? I suppose.
That's too damn much.
What's that?
That's too damn much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my whole thing is like if there's somebody who wants to go buy it, you know, I mean, it's like the whole, you know, pre-console launch thing where folks buy up 20 units to go sell on eBay, and you know, to me, it's like, you know, if the secondary.
Be careful how you do that, and don't work for a game retailer when you do that.
Right. Well,
I had a former, and keyword there is former assistant manager who thought it'd be a great idea for him to reserve an Xbox, and his wife to reserve an Xbox, and his kids to reserve an Xbox, and his cousin to reserve an Xbox.
Nope. That's not going to fly at all.
And he was found out 2 days later, and he no longer worked at GameStop.
So they did him a favor.
Yeah.
But yeah. My take on it is like these people buying up these systems to go resell them. You know, it's kind of fucked because, like, you know, if somebody legit wants to own one, you know, they're gonna have to go through these $400 fucking eBay stores and shit, and it's, I don't know, it just kind of bums me out. But at the same time, like, it is what it is, you know.
I'm just glad that we ain't having shit like when PlayStations were first getting released and selling on eBay for like $2,000.
Right.
I remember that shit.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, people were still buying them.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Like,
wasn't
how
that
stupid
bad.
are you?
You know,
Some
I think
people
that's
really
when,
want it.
I think that's when, you know, that's something like when Sony realized they were losing the market when they released the PlayStation 3 and and it wasn't just Swamp 2. And then they were then it was like all of a sudden the Wii U couldn't be found anywhere.
Right.
And you could go to any retailer and it's like, oh, here's a PlayStation 3, it's fine. And
the
like, but I
Sony
want a Wii
execs were
U.
so
No,
cocky.
nope.
Who was it that like one of the Sony execs was like, if you can go find a PlayStation 3, I'll give you like $100 or something for each
Yeah,
one.
and Penny Arcade went to like 5 different retailers and they put it on a comic.
Yeah.
And he said, and we found all these while looking for our Wii, and we can't find those.
And you know,
then
it's
go ahead.
no.
I was gonna say then there was the asshole European Sony exec back at the PlayStation 3 launch who said like something about the first 1 million units would be sold on brand name alone, even if there wasn't any games.
Yeah, you'd get a second job for that shit.
Oh God, you talking about this?
Yeah, but no, I thought it was funny. Like, people were speculating based on the strength of the Wii that the Wii U was going to be hard to find, and fucking some lady bought like 30 of them and had them in the back of her truck, and then had to take a loss on them, selling them on fucking Amazon and shit.
That's funny.
Wah wah.
Yeah.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Oh, just the Majora's Mask 3D.
We're on to the next topic already. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, do you guys know why it's selling on there?
Shit to hell if I know.
Okay. What happened is they announced it the day of the direct. Within an hour, every retailer was sold out.
Right.
What has happened is a bunch of scalpers had pretty much bought up everything. Like they were buying. Like actually, Best Buy released a press statement today talking about how they're going to cut back and refund a lot of people that pre-orders and shit. It's where you can only have pre-ordered so many of them,
Right.
so more people can get a hold of them.
Right.
So yeah, if you're wanting a Majora's Mask 3DS XL console, look at Best Buy. Apparently, they're going to be going there again as well. So keep an eye out.
Very cool. Yeah. We were just talking about how dickish the secondary market, is.
Yeah, and somebody did the same thing with Rosalina, right? Isn't that it?
Yeah.
A Smash character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did it with the Amiibo. Well, they bought up like 100 different Rosalina characters. And they were
and
like,
flipped them off.
yeah, the whole thing is that they didn't even have a plan to sell them. They were just like, nope, I just didn't want people to use them. Like, you are a dick.
Wow.
You know what? But it worked for that's his choice though.
It is, like, it really is. It's just that Nintendo should have thought, or like, I don't know, they should have planned ahead with it, I guess.
Well, I don't think anybody can really plan for like fucking.
Yeah, assholes in the secondary market.
Yeah.
Some of what that were, I don't know, this kind of article really hit on something I wanted to bring up.
Sure.
And I brought this up before the show with you guys a little bit. Like, as a culture, we have kind of to that point where the words limited edition don't really mean anything anymore.
Especially in a digital concept.
Yeah. So now that like something comes out and it's like legitimately limited, people are flipping the fuck out. Now granted, this right here, it's bullshit because the secondary market claimed this.
Right.
But in cases like the Destiny game where they had like the little ghost, or I don't know, there's a bunch of those where like they'll come with a statue, they'll come with something like that. Those are true limited editions. Then you have ones that'll come out and they'll just put limited edition on the box. Like I can't remember the last time I bought an Assassin's Creed game that didn't say limited edition on the box.
Right. Darksiders 2
De
was like
facto,
that as well.
de facto limited edition.
Exactly.
Point out, though, guys, this is what you guys are talking about. Basically, just a form of nostalgia, where like, oh, it's so nice if this meant this again.
Well, there are still
Yeah, but-
companies that do a good job of making, like Rice said, limited or collector's editions that come with something like physical to give you
makes
some
you
sort of trinket,
feel
a
like
book,
this is
poster,
legitimately-
shirt.
Right.
Yeah,
So what
it
I'm
makes you
saying,
feel like
though,
this is
is,
legitimately a limited thing.
what I'm
But
saying though is like they don't have to. Like they can make
no, they don't.
different editions.
No,
you
but
know?
that's the point though, is that
that's
these
what
limited
makes it a collector's
editions,
edition.
these like
Limited
limited
edition.
editions aren't limited. Like I bought
Yeah.
Darksiders 2, a copy. It said limited edition on the cover. It was the exact same fucking thing that was in the regular edition. That was
Yeah, and it's the same
So-
thing with every Assassin's Creed game I've bought since Assassin's Creed, not Brotherhood, Revelations.
Right.
It's Revelations that every Assassin's Creed I bought has said limited or special edition on it, and there's nothing different. There's not a damn thing. It's just like, oh yeah, we just put that in the box.
Hmm.
That's not what.
right. Now, and see, if we're talking in terms of like trinkets and shit, that's great. That's a limited edition. But the same game, just in a box that says limited edition on it, really don't make it too limited.
No, it's really not, and that's I think kind of the problem is like, as a culture, we've kind of been groomed to that point of it's limited edition, but everybody can have a copy. So
Right.
now, as soon as they get to a point where it's like, no, this is truly a limited thing. Like we're not printing anymore after this is done. People are kind of like, oh fuck, well this is bullshit. And now it's kind of that point where the secondary market stood up and they were like, well, fuck it, we're gonna buy all these copies, and you're gonna have to buy them from us. And it's fucked up, but at the same time, it's like, good on for the people who really wanted one, like who didn't want to buy them in the secondary, or not necessarily didn't buy them in the secondary market, but people who managed to get to the retailer quick enough and got theirs, good on them, because you got something that's going to be a pain in the ass to get a hold of. You have something that is a true limited edition, and that just shows your dedication to that franchise or that game or whatever. That's cool.
Right. Now, along these lines, do we want to talk about the pre-order bonus for that particular game?
For what? For George Mask?
No, you know what I'm talking about. The playable character that you can only get by pre-ordering the fucking game.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna do that, I suggest we. Yeah, we gotta grab an old. We gotta grab an old friend of the show. Hold on just a second. Let's get him in here first. He was talking in the chat, and he had asked kindly if we had talked about Mortal Kombat without him.
Yeah.
He was going to be a little depressed, so let's go ahead and grab him in here.
Yeah. And this actually will launch into a wider discussion about pre-order bonuses, I think. So.
Yeah, he mentioned something about season passes that I will say as he's getting in here in response to that I can't vibe with season passes, if only because it's kind of another pre-order thing.
It's just you don't know what you're buying until you get it. Like, okay, I bought the season pass for AC4, right? And I was under the assumption that whenever I got this, there was going to be more story content. The only story content that was released was the slave ship shit.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, that was solid. But I was under the impression that there was going to be more.
Yeah.
So all you were really buying was that one episode thing and then a bunch of multiplayer maps.
Right. And some developers even do kind of, say, here's what we're going to be offering up. But generally speaking, it's one of the
things.
things.
Up to it or not.
Yeah. Not only that, but
you get all the DLC for this year.
Right. They'll just straight up say, like, buy a season pass and you're not sure what you're getting. And that's not cool.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man, get over here.
So we're talking about Mortal Kombat now. You said you wanted it whenever this happened, so...
Yeah. And specifically, we're going to kick the discussion off by talking about the Goro pre-order bonus and what your thoughts on that are.
Okay, so here's the thing. Can I start?
Yeah, man. Well, you're free.
So I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like a pre-order thing first, and later down they're gonna release it for free, because this is the same thing that happened with Tekken.
We're sure there will, but it's what I'm thinking.
I don't think they're releasing it for free.
No.
The game. Go ahead.
If it's anything like the what 2K does, they will do a pre-order bonus. I'll use the WWE games for example. They say pre-order and you can get Hulk Hogan from the 80s and the NWO Hogan and blah blah blah, and you can only get them if you pre-order. And then like 2 months after probably like the same week that they released their last DLC of their season pass, they released those Hogans for like $1.99 a piece.
Right.
So,
right.
I have a feeling that Goro will, you will be able to get them eventually. It would be kind of stupid not to, because people will, there are going to be some people who will not pre-order. They listen to Total Biscuit enough to say, nope, no more pre-order.
I refuse to pre-order.
The problem I have with it is the multiplayer. I have to imagine that it's going to be insanely unbalanced. Like, I can't imagine that a lot of people will main Goro, just because I can see him being really slow.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, because remember in AK9 you can only play in like a few challenge towers.
Yeah.
Is that what's going to happen here? Is he actually going to be playable in the multiplayer?
Yeah, well,
is it playable?
I think the way I see it is I don't know. I think I agree with Ryan. I think what you're going to see happen is he'll be a character exclusive to the pre-orders, and like Wayne said, it'll be released for some, small fee down the line. But Ryan's concern, I think, was that like, you're talking about not everybody has this character, so how does that affect the multiplayer and whatnot? And I think we've seen it. I'm really against that kind of shit in fighting games as well, or especially because like, not everybody has the characters. Then
I'll put it this way.
It's also a pain to.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm going to put it this way, and I think a deal will be 100% on my with me back to back on this one. I don't care about I don't care about DLC for characters as long as the fucking characters can be downloaded and are not locked on the fucking disc.
Yep.
Yes.
What are you talking ill weight there towards Mega Man?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking appeal to every Street Fighter game that's come out.
Tekken Cross Street Fighter was like a.
We're looking at
No.
Capcom.
Hold on. To be fair, though, that was only Street Fighter Cross Tekken. If they do that in Street Fighter 5, Capcom, you're gonna. Oh God.
Right.
Yeah, I think they learned. I think they actually said
to
something to the effect of, we can't do this anymore because even Ono said when they released Ultra on Steam that they did it on Steam and not a disc copy because they said that really there's no way they could make money on a disc copy because if they locked the characters on a disc, then they would people would just hack it out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So there was no need.
We'll hide your bits. We'll reverse your bits.
Yeah.
And also Street Fighter X Tekken bombs. So there's that.
It bombed because of that on-disc DLC BS.
And it didn't help none that the gem system was moronic.
And it also came on the same day as Mass Effect 3, which I think damaged it a bit.
Yeah. Capcom has always been bad about
timing their releases.
Yeah, I think they forget sometimes that they're still, at the time they were still a, pretty big company, but they're not that big, and you shouldn't try to stack on the same day as Mass Effect 3. That's stupid.
And if I'm not mistaken, they did release 2 more new character videos. I believe it was Katana and Kung Lao. I'm not 100% though.
Well, not really. That wasn't really character video. It was like a new trailer, but they officially said that here's Kung Lao.
Here's Katana, here's Kung Lao, and both look amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Katana is always fucking awesome.
It makes me happy that she's. It makes me happy that she's in it because that certainly means that Melina will be in the game.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now imagine if they already have those two, they might as well put Jade in there as well.
Didn't Kung Lao die? In
In MK9 they changed the torture.
Wasn't it just Sonya and fucking Johnny Cage who survived?
Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Raiden were the only ones. And apparently
And Kano.
And Kano. And the character who you see that's kind of like Sonya is actually Johnny Cage and Sonya's daughter.
Yeah, she's Cassie Cage.
Oh shit.
Okay, so guys, can I tell you something? I actually played MKX.
Oh, really?
Eurogamer back in September.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, Cassie Cage's X-Ray, right? You know Johnny Cage's X-Ray?
Yeah.
Where he punches in the genitals. This one is like Sniper Elite, where you actually see the testicles and she pops them like a fucking balloon.
Oh. That's kind of brutal.
So how was it? I was gonna. So John, how was it with the? How am I trying to say? How was a MK game at 60 FPS?
I know,
that sounded like a giggle of like excitement.
Well, the thing is they have you play really close to the TV, so it doesn't look the game doesn't look very good when you play it. Like it looks very pixelated and shit.
Oh, when you're standing on top of it, of course. Yeah.
Right. But then, to be fair, the videos don't really impress. I mean, that is a cross-gen game. Am I correct on that?
No.
It's not.
It is, but with Advanced Warfare and Titanfall, it's going to be handled by a different developer.
Right.
Not just that, but you can expect it to be a lot more polished at the time of release as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping so because the videos right now don't look much better. In fact, in some ways, they kind of look worse than MK9, in my opinion.
I would disagree. It looks so much better.
Animation quality. Everybody loved every aspect, including the music, over that badass trailer.
And maybe it's just my expectations for the hardware.
Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah.
Is it getting a PC release, or did I just?
No, I think it is. It is.
It is gonna get a PC release. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. PC's getting so much shit now. Hell, it's getting sports games. The tides are turning back into
Yeah, and
PC
I think
being more and more.
like these devs are finally saying, you know what? There's a market here.
Well, not just that, but look, you gotta understand. But now that it's so easy to develop for the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC, because they're all very similar architecture now. It's not like it was last generation where it was like, okay, well the 360 is kind of close to a PC, then the PS4 or PS3 is like a whole different monster. Yeah,
They have
the
to
cell
translate
processor.
stuff, but besides
Remember,
that,
hey guys, remember when the cell processor was going to run every aspect of our lives?
Yeah, remember when the cell processor didn't do any of those things?
Is that what the cut's gonna do?
You remember when the cell processor made ports look like garbage?
Remember when the cell processor couldn't run Skyrim properly?
Oh yeah, no.
We could keep going on this for days. If we
Yeah,
want to.
but what I'm saying, anything that was like done, like I really can't say in house, but like exclusively for Sony, looked great.
Yeah, but everything else.
Yeah, not taking anything, but because what it would do is they
I think it was 2 years. I'm sorry, Wayne, to interrupt you, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it was the first 2 years of exclusives from Sony. Even those didn't look that great, and you could tell they were still trying to figure out how the hardware worked.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
definitely true.
until I
thing
think
is,
like
like-
year 3 that it was like they really started knocking out of the ballpark with their exclusives.
Everything was devved on.
we started to really dominate.
They would dev
Yeah.
on Xbox 360 and then port to PS3 because it was easier.
Yeah.
And it kind of that's what kind of drew back on. Even though I find them so stupid and asinine, the side-by-side comparisons that websites would do. It's like, look at this, look at this, look at this color, and look at this. The shading is off here, and blah blah. Who cares?
Yeah, the only thing that they're pandering to is like the one lone fanboy who gave a fuck. It's like,
or they owned everything, and it's like, well, I'll just pick up the Xbox version, or whichever version was coming out better at that point. I mean,
So what you're saying is fuck Digital Foundry?
yeah. Oh, right.
Hey man, you're treading into dangerous ground. People love themselves some fucking analysis videos.
Oh, dude, if I could, I would like live at those analysis videos. Like, I would literally just spend a day reading through those. I'm one of those people that obsesses like everything before a release, so I know everything.
I used to be like that, and then I got to the point and was like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I watched like the frame rate video ones, but that's about it. I don't really care.
When you see a noticeable stutter from one thing to another, then yeah, I could definitely see. It's like I know Bayonetta turned out better on Xbox than it did on PS3.
Right.
the same thing goes with Skyrim.
Well,
They
yeah,
did
yeah,
show
that's
up
I
on
see
PS3.
Skyrim, but if it's a noticeable thing, like you're looking at it, and it's like, oh, look at that, that shouldn't be happening. Why is that person morphing into that basket?
I want to say that they still, even like now, did Dawn Guard ever appear on PS3? Like ever?
Over a year later.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it kind of goes back, which is beneficial for both Xbox One and PlayStation 4, is now they've, I wouldn't say the technology is caught up. I guess we could more say the devs have caught up with technology.
Yeah.
They can do an incremental patch to fix minor things instead of having to wait until they do a big patch.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is,
that was also something that was fucked up about their contracting. I don't know if you realize this or not.
oh,
but-
yeah, I know about the contract.
Yeah, but they actually had to pay money to go in and fix their own game, so they had to decide whether or not it was cost effective for them to go in and
With
fix their own shit.
Microsoft more than any others.
Mhm.
Yeah, Microsoft was really notorious for that. I think it was like one game that came out on Microsoft, came out on the Xbox, and it was so broken, and they just decided to leave it broken because
I think
The
it was
amount of money.
Fez was like that.
yeah,
for sure.
that's what it was. Yeah, Fez. They just decided not to pay it because
Yeah, because the amount of money would have just not been cost effective. They wouldn't.
Well,
have gotten a return
no,
on it,
and
so.
yeah, and Fish was bitching about it.
yeah, well, Fish is a douche anyway, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
I think they get
Well, I think-
one patch for free.
Yeah, and everything else after that's I think like 10K or something ridiculous.
Yeah, and the Fish is a douche. Hey, you guys bought my game. It doesn't work, and
No, realistically though,
still give us more
it was
money.
almost like he was one of the bigger ones who kind of got eyes on the fact that was an issue.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I guess you can kind of say that it was because of his tirades that he kind of brought a lot of attention to that issue.
Yeah, but then people were too busy choking on his dick to really do anything about it. So
Yeah.
But now,
on their spreadsheet machines.
that's the cool thing about this generation is they both totally reneged on all of that fucking shady shit and said, nope, if there's something wrong and you need to fix it, go ahead. So now at this point, if it's just on the developers to make sure everything's up and going good.
Mm-hmm. Most def.
Keep an eye on them publishers.
Devs.
Hey, Rye.
Well,
I got some Nintendo Club reward points, and I was thinking that maybe I could use some of them to buy a gift for the audience, somebody in the audience next show.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice.
Yeah.
just watch the viewership go up. Free stuff? I'm in.
What is it? That's marketing 101. Shit.
Yeah.
We're all gonna
Free
say
stuff.
we're gonna have 100 views
Hell yeah.
next week, and all go on
No,
so
no.
free things, right?
Yeah, but the key is like y'all have to wait to the end.
Right. Yep.
Exactly.
Now I've got like.
entire time, Mark is gonna be sitting there going, "Hey, what happened to my free Steam game, guys?
Right.
Guys!"
I mean, I got 1,000 coins, so I was thinking about buying a couple, of the games or like whatever the audience wants, and it can't be physical goods because that's a whole other kind of slippery fucking thing.
Give me
If
your
somebody wants.
address, and then I gotta go to your house.
Well, no.
and
It's the thing
all
is,
the
if
way.
I switch my address, Nintendo they get kind of bitchy about that shit. So.
I
but
was
when-
talking about I have to go to your address.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta
Right.
sneak into your bedroom, wait until you sleep at night, stab upward through the bed, clean up the mess, and it's just easier.
Masturbate into a sock, cry,
Oh yeah, I've been there, dude.
eat stuff out of your fridge.
Wait, you guys don't do that on Saturday nights?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm
What do you think
talking
we do
about
after the
man,
show?
'cause I'm doing the
What do you think we do
show.
after the
So.
show, man.
Oh, all right.
But no, I was just thinking, what other use am I gonna have for these fucking coins? So
Yeah, see, I'm the same way with mine. I could probably just throw my lot in with yours if you want them.
yeah, we'll work something out. I guess that's really more of a behind the scenes thing, but
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk
Okay,
about all our
cool.
behind the scenes stuff right here live on TV.
right.
Well, we're on TV. Can someone
Yeah, we're on
tell the
TV.
channel?
You understand? You're on my TV right now.
Yeah, exactly. I
Oh,
was gonna
okay.
say you're on mine
You
too.
are on TV.
Yep.
Oh my God, guys, we made it. All 4 viewers got us on
Looks
national
like
TV.
we made it.
Barry
Pop the
Man.
champagne.
Yes.
Well, hey, I got beer. Is that close enough?
Yeah.
But
Could have
no,
done it without you and you and you.
you do realize we got another hour of this shit, right? Anything else?
Yeah,
Oh,
actually, we had a topic lined up from last week that a lot of people seemed pretty eager to talk about, so I figured we'd throw it out now.
Okay.
What are some of your guys' favorite game franchises, the high points, the low points, things that you would like to see them do in the future, things that you think they should have just avoided altogether, or even if it's a franchise that's been dead and gone for years and you just want to see brought back and
Blasto. And Bubsy 3D. Bring that shit back.
No,
And then let me kill myself.
no.
Okay, Squaresoft, I want you to look at. I want to look you right in the eyes right now. Square Enix, I'm looking at you right now.
Chrono Trigger.
Another fucking Chrono game. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Chrono Cross 2, because you're never going to get a sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Just something in the Chrono franchise. God damn it. And quit calling games that aren't even fucking Final Fantasy. What's this Final Fantasy 50 bullshit? Just make a goddamn new IP. Just start making new IPs.
Right?
Yes.
Square Enix is right now saying no, we refuse.
Here's
You'll
the
buy
thing
this
about
shit anyway, motherfuckers.
No, here's the thing about Versus 13. It was supposed to be a counterpoint to 13. And
Yeah,
now
right.
it's
It takes
15.
place on another world or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it was in the same time but different.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like it's
in a
some
very-
sort of actiony game. Like what?
Well,
In a very
wasn't
M. Night
originally-
Shyamalan twist, it was going to be the sequel to The Bouncer.
What a twist!
Yeah.
Wasn't originally it supposed to be like the villain side to the story?
No, well,
No,
yeah, I
no,
guess it was, but then they eventually it kind of like morphed into like this is the same basically parallel same time but different planet.
Huh.
Yeah.
That makes
basically,
sense.
yeah, seeing what was happening in 13 from another perspective.
So
Of
it's
course,
fan
I
fiction.
always every time I think about Final Fantasy 13, I think about JonTron's video about Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Playing
endless
itself, John.
hallway or something like
It's
that.
playing itself, John.
And then the part of the end where he just says, "God has come to reap the sinners."
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna guess for you, John, that franchise is the Chrono stuff. You'd like to see that come back.
Which
That was
who, me?
Josh. That
Oh, that was me.
Josh.
That was me.
Yeah.
And there's also another, like maybe not as obscure one, maybe kind of obscure. It's a game called UN Squadron for Super Nintendo.
Yep, the shooter.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Make a new one of those. Shit, like make it like Ace Combat. Hell yeah. Ace Combat, the arcade game.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
wait till it's my turn.
Yeah.
You want to go, Optimus?
Do
Go
it.
for it.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the bomb first and foremost. Final Fight.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There you go. There you
And
go.
I want. And this is gonna sound weird.
Streetwise, man.
No, fuck Streetwise. This is gonna sound weird, but I've already got the company to picked out to do it.
Oh yeah.
And you know, people say, well, Capcom. No, Capcom can license this shit out. Way forward.
Because they did the Double Dragon one.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can do with that.
I think way forward, getting a hold of it, and I want Hager, Cody, and Guy. I don't care about anybody else. I
I don't
want,
care about Lucia or whatever her name.
No, I can take Maki. I can take Maki. Maki was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want those want them back. And by the way, Capcom, since you're making Street Fighter V, go ahead and put Hager in there. He's been kind of sitting out in the Marvel Capcom area, and he'd like to get in. I think he's got a beef with Zangief that needs to be settled.
What Wayne is saying? Hold on. What Wayne is saying is that a challenger approaches.
Yeah. We want the Mayor of America, Mike Hager, to speak now.
Here.
No.
Go ahead.
You mean the Mayor of Earth?
Oh yeah, Mayor of Earth. Yeah, that's right.
The Mayor of Earth.
What were some other things we were called, like Mayor of Earth, President of Space?
The space Pope.
Basically, and Mike Hager has a successfully PAL-driven Galactus. So.
Oh, he did that. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, and another one, and this is going to sound. I mean, there have been Castlevania games, but I honestly like the Metroidvania style.
Sure.
Oh, I
would
enjoy those so very much. Like,
Yeah, I would just like to. I would honestly like another Alucard game.
yeah,
Yeah.
on my top 10
Oh, yeah.
games is Symphony of the Night. I adore that game so much, even if it's not like one of the most difficult of the
Yeah.
series. What it did and just how fun it is to play.
And plus, Alucard was a pretty badass character.
Hell yeah. And I thought that was the direction they were taking it in with Lords of Shadow 2, but apparently not. So, but yeah, I kind of want a traditional Castlevania. Like level-based side
Oh
scrolling.
yeah, I would take that too because
Yeah.
just you know what? Just give me a new game with Simon Belmont. Just go.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, just something good in the vein of the classic shit instead of this new.
Marco in chat agrees with you, by the way. Chrono Cross, more please.
Yeah,
Well,
just
that-
more, please. It's such a good franchise.
Oh.
It has so much love. Like, it
I'll
would
give it-
sell.
I'll pass the torch after this one since we were on the subject of Square Enix.
Yeah,
Why don't you guys quit being fucking cock teases and instead of re-releasing and re-releasing and re-releasing and re-releasing Final Fantasy VII,
True
why don't you give us the
HD
remake that we've been begging for the past
Actually, I have a theory behind this.
years, you morons?
I have a theory behind this, right?
Our frauding demand increases.
that game actually was, right? Like,
Turn off the
imagine
guy.
how much. I'm sorry, I did. Imagine how in depth and actually like how much there actually was to that game, right? Now imagine doing that in an actual 3D perspective.
Mhm.
Dude, they could still do. Listen, they can still do the pre-rendered graphics. Just clean them up quite a bit.
I want to remind everybody that Final Fantasy Versus 13 was in development for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Right.
true.
And
Yeah,
during that
that's
time, they
truth.
could have given us a true and awesome remake of Final Fantasy VII.
You know they're working on it.
Satiate the crowd.
Well, see, you actually have you ever heard their excuse on it?
I don't want to care.
Yeah, HD pounds are hard.
Well, no. Their excuse on it was we're always constantly transitioning employees, and a lot of times the employees don't want to go back and rework somebody else's work. They want to build
That's
something
why
their
you
own
have
original.
bosses.
Here's the thing about Final Fantasy Versus 13. The reason it was in development for so long, biggest reason, is because they took off like essentially the Versus 13 team to make 13. And the entire point of 13 in the first place was the fact that 13, like, Versus 13 was made in the first place because Nomura didn't like the direction 13 was going in. So, like, yeah.
So they basically gave him another project.
Right.
No, they forced him to work on 13, even though the point was...
No, I'm saying originally, though, he wanted to...
What if 13 sucked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, guys, come on. We need to be chill here. Destiny is destiny, apparently. According to that god-awful character, Lightning.
Oh, God.
She's an SJW, by the way.
No kidding. Just found her fucking boring.
Well, there you go.
Hey, look, we got a female antagonist. Oh, that's great if you didn't make her a fucking rock.
Antagonist or protagonist?
You mean protagonist, bro.
I don't really, I was so antagonized.
It was antagonistic to you.
I was so antagonized by that game, it didn't really matter. Okay, who's next? Who wants to?
Hey, John, one of you.
When John left.
Did he?
I'm here.
Where'd you go?
I am currently here. Or do you mean the other John?
His favorite franchise is Call of Duty.
Chat John.
Look, there are some areas of the gaming conversation that I cannot go.
He's like, where you go, I cannot follow.
Actually, you're
Hold on. He's just like, low points of that franchise. I can't say there are any.
It would be great if they added some more guns to the next game.
No, it would be great. Batman with guns.
Exactly.
And is entered the building.
I don't really have any suggestions because my entry into gaming is very narrow. And there's some games I played, but there's no lost franchises from way back when that I wish that would come back because I've not experienced most of them.
Sure enough.
Good things about Chrono Trigger.
Guys, we got a pleb here.
Yeah, I know. I'm loading my sniper rifle.
Can I go now?
Breaker 1, 2. That's a go. Website.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Don, what of games that you have played, what would you say, just to change this question just for you, what would you say was a series that you did enjoy and wish that could have been better, and what would you change?
Do you mean besides Call of Duty?
Yeah, besides Call of Duty.
Well, you know what? One series that I did enjoy was the Ratchet and Clank series.
There you go.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Although the one thing that bugged me was I used to do some multiplayer in Ratchet and Clank, and the one thing that bugged me was the fact that it was in third person view the entire time. There was nothing you can do about it.
Oh yeah, that's the game, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be nice to have a.
John, you and your FPS. Love.
It's the train.
It's the Athens train.
You know what time it is?
Fucking
time.
Chris was like, I didn't know that was. At first, I thought it was just some soundboard making sounds, or Daryl going Aspie and fucking saying it's train time, everybody. Train. It comes out by my window.
So, was that all the thoughts you had on that, John?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I would love to see if they do something different with Titanfall. If they come out with a sequel.
Yeah.
Because that would be fantastic. I thought the way they started with the game was great.
Hey guys,
but they,
that's one of the good things about Infinity.
Titanfall.
Huh?
Have you guys seen Titanfall?
Yeah. Why?
No. Oh. It's a reference to that motherfucker who just kept. You'll eat our DRM. Have you seen
Titanfall? Don't you have a train you need to go? I'm not.
No.
You need a spotter.
It's gone. It's
gone. One good thing about that, the team that used to be Infinity Ward. Was it Respawn?
Respawn, yeah.
They always make improvements, and they get better as they go along.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Vincent Pello leading the charge on that, dude. It'll be great.
This was like a first of its kind type of thing. It's like let's give it, throw it out there. The fans were like, okay, it's good. I wish we could change this. They're gonna listen. They actually listen to their fan base. So,
yeah, it's gonna be one of the things where we're probably gonna have upwards of 5 separate Titans next go.
Yeah. So
I hope so, because one of the biggest critiques that seemed to be out there was that there wasn't a whole lot of variety in your loadout and things that you could do. Like once you play, it's very easy to reach the maximum amount of stuff available in this game. Like you don't have to play very hard.
But even prestiging, they kind of flipped out on its head a little bit, because prestiging isn't the same as it was in COD, right? Where you get an experience boost whenever you prestige now. So it makes getting to the next prestige even easier. Then when you prestige again, you get another experience boost.
You just said a whole lot of words that I don't understand.
Okay, in Call of Duty, you hit level 50. And you
I didn't ask you to explain it. I just...
Essentially, you get to max
never
level.
asked for this.
And essentially, you get to max level, and you can prestige and start over and get like basically a higher rank.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then in Titanfall, they did that, but they made it to where whenever you did the prestige thing, you got an experience boost, so you could get to the next level faster.
It kind of negated the point of the prestige.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because that was something that I've always, I don't know, like, I get it if you're like, this is the only game multiplayer versus the game I'm going to play. I get it if you're looking for the maximum amount of playability to it, but as far as somebody who's just casually jumping on there, once you hit level 50 and you have access to everything, why?
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and even in Call of Duty, who would just get to the maximum level on the first prestige, and they would never prestige because they didn't want to have to go through the prestiges.
Yeah, especially if you can customize your loadouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point.
Like,
I'm one of those people.
the only thing is like, oh, for a custom card thing, why? Like, it's not enough of a benefit. So
And
at
then
least Titanfall had the foresight to know that, all right, well, there's really not enough of a benefit for people to do this, because they're just going to be unlocking the same shit again.
Yeah,
So at
well,
least
I
let them
would
do it
point out,
faster.
it seems like the prestige thing has always been like for just prestige. It's like, you know, you get some level of bragging. You like, you know, you're like, I've got.
But at the
prestige.
same time, the most people that go in there, like, for instance, whenever I would see that shit, and now granted, it should be like, oh, well, you busted your ass and you played the game a lot. But when people go in there, and I'm just as guilty of this shit, you get your ass kicked by one of the people at the top prestiges, your go-to line is, you have no fucking life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now I think everybody else thinks that about me because of my Street Fighter skills. But
Nah,
yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, we thought about
at all.
that. We thought about that before your Street Fighter skills, so it's fine.
Well, let's move on down the line to the other John. Let him have his.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah.
Okay, so throughout the entire 7th generation, two franchises that want to come back. One is Star Wars Battlefront, which is happening,
Yeah, that's coming back.
and the other is Time Splitters.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
That'd be
a great
interesting.
choice. That is a great choice.
All right.
That's a really good one. Yeah, Time Split. That was such a fun little series too.
Now, my understanding was that they were working on something, or was it the fans?
It was like the team that did it was working on something, but they didn't know.
Well, they had plans to do it, but then they released. They were going to do it after Haze, but then Haze was shit. So.
Yeah. We talk about just pure multiplayer fun. That's, you know.
You could play a gingerbread man in that game.
Yep, and a monkey.
And a monkey.
Don't forget the monkey.
And a snowman that rides on the flying carpet.
What the fuck?
I'm not joking.
I know. I remember that shit.
So
That was good games.
So I guess let's see.
There's not really much to talk about with that, because Battlefront we know is happening.
Yeah, and then and then he leaves. He's like, well, I got my.
I got to talk about Mortal Kombat. Fuck you guys, I'm out.
No, he had left and came back, so he's probably just disconnecting.
You can talk about game series that we don't want them to make anymore.
A deal. What do you?
Yeah.
What is a series you would like to see come back or has been done wrong and should get a revamp or just should die?
Okay. I have two that I can think of off the top of my head. First off, you need to do another Rival Schools. What is wrong with you? Why haven't you still made that game, Capcom? Like, seriously, what the hell?
Rival schools united by fate.
Yes. We need another Rival Schools game. And second off,
Wasn't
for the
Sakura in
love
there?
of yeah,
Yeah.
Sakura's in there.
Yeah.
And for the love of God, just end Final Fantasy. Just end it, please.
Please.
Oh my God, please, just end it.
I've thought about this actually. What would they call it? Because it's already Final Fantasy. So would they call it The Last Fantasy?
No,
I mean, they're
Final
already,
Fantasy.
no, just start
the
naming it
end.
different shit.
Just
Start
Final
naming it.
Fantasy.
Well, they're already
I
doing
mean, you
that.
guys know how the name came about, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it was
yeah,
the
absolutely.
studio's potentially their last game.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause
their
they were-
final. Their final hurrah.
But here's the thing. Deal said, why don't they just start calling it different names? They already have. It's Bravely Default.
No, I
That's not
don't.
even a joke. I'm being dead serious. Like
Yeah,
ask
they just-
anybody who's played Bravely Default. It is a Final Fantasy game.
We need
It's just
more.
not called Final Fantasy.
We just need more of Square Enix doing newer things and like it just like Final Fantasy, just Final fucking Fantasy. If I live to have to see a Final Fantasy 20 released in my lifetime, I might quit gaming.
Or
Like,
breathing.
this is just ridiculous anymore. I can't be associated with an industry that has a Final Fantasy 20.
Yeah, just quit breathing. That
I
just
honestly think
Just
what
start
they-
naming them by the year like Madden does.
Here's the thing: what you need to do with Final Fantasy, like name them based off. And if you're going to
Hey,
return to another world or do a pseudo sequel, then name it after a number.
Oh god, that would give you a goddamn heart contusion. Like, oh fucking Final Fantasy Midgar. Like,
No,
No,
just
call it. I
make
think it's just saying call it Midgar.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
just call it
okay.
Midgar.
All right. So kind of like
just-
Tails. So in a sense, you're saying do what Tails has done.
yeah.
Like Tales of Xillia, Tales of Fantasia, Tales of blah blah blah.
Tales of
And,
Ascent.
and only throw a name on a number on it for like you're going back to that world, like you said, Tales of Fantasia 2 or something.
Yeah.
Tales of Xillia 2, and yeah.
And aren't those all loosely connected, even though they're not?
No, none of them are really connected. They're similar to the Final Fantasy series in that sense.
right. Similar gameplay concepts, but totally different worlds and shit.
I mean, the thing is, it's like that the thing. But the problem is with it's not going to happen. I think we all know that, and the reason why it's not going to happen is branding.
Marketing,
And
branding.
yeah, and, people, will buy the Final Fantasy even if it
Millions.
even if it's Drek. So
Millions of people bought Final Fantasy 13. People defend Final Fantasy 13.
there is a poll that said that that Lightning is one of the best characters of the Final Fantasy universe.
Hell no!
Tell me. I've had people
Hell
tell
no!
me. Look, I've had people, honest to God, look at me straight face and go, Final Fantasy 13 is not that bad of a game. What one did you play? Because I don't think I have that same one. Like, the fuck?
Like, I'm with Spoony on this one. I had to apologize to Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Hey,
actually learned
it's
what
good.
true crap was.
Yeah, 8's good now compared to.
No. 8's been my favorite.
Wait. Okay, Adil, I think you know what I'm going with. I'm going with this because I hope you've seen the video. But it's all about those cards.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wasn't 8 the one with Leon and
Yeah, Squall,
It was?
Squall and Renoa. Yeah,
Yeah, I know him as Leon because fucking Kingdom Hearts.
The
So.
Ellipses
Yeah.
Master.
I gotta
I
say,
know.
one of my friends, and I would say probably a kind of a fair comparison. He used to call Final Fantasy VIII like the War and Peace of Final Fantasy. Because I said because it was fucking long and terrible. And but I mean, going back now, it's like what I have played it in recent years, and I'm like, it's it's not as bad as I remember because I was just being a pleb, but. I don't think it's definitely nowhere near the best, but it's definitely better than 13. So
I think it was, looking back, 8 was a good game, just a shit Final Fantasy game. It was shit
would
at
say
being
that
Final
was-
Fantasy.
I'd say that would be fair.
I wouldn't agree with that, but I can see the criticism. I
don't
can
know,
somewhat
I have such-
understand that
I have
perspective.
such an undying love for that Gunblade that I'm willing to overlook it. So.
The gun, and Lightning has a gunblade.
No, her Gunblades are fucking no. No,
that is
You know
not
what a
a
gunblade
gunblade.
actually
No,
is?
no.
Like,
Right,
how you shoot a gun, like,
No. Like it is
You
a
shoot
real
blades out of
gunblade.
your gun.
I get it. It's a real Gunblade, but Squall's Gunblade, just the hilt, is fucking amazing. It's a goddamn Magnum, dude.
No, here's the thing with the gunblade. It's supposed to work like a vibration weapon. like it's
So it's a fucking dildo.
no. It's like a mini.
Oh, this just added a whole new level. Final Fantasy.
Think of it as a chainsaw that starts moving every time you pull the trigger, but much like concentrated force to it.
Oh, so
it's like a dildo.
You guys are awful.
It's like the vibro knife from Star Wars.
Yeah, there we go. That's a better way to put it. Also, by the way, Marco pointed out that the Japanese love 13 and Lightning.
Well,
yeah. Well, and that's why we don't like the Japanese.
Oh, God.
No, we love you, Japanese person who's watching this.
We also...
In a later point in time. We are aware you're not watching us live, which probably... I don't know what time there. I don't.
yeah, and apparently millions of other people who bought the game liked 13 as well. So
yeah,
say la vie.
No,
I was not one of them.
Hold on. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people who bought 13 that didn't really like 13. They only bought it because it was a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that happens.
That was me.
Stop that stuff.
It was a
if you
next gen
wanna play
Final
it.
Fantasy game. It looked pretty, and I was like, I want to buy it, and I bought it, and I was severely disappointed.
Well, we kind of drifted off subject.
Yeah, we did.
Daryl, you didn't ever get a chance. I know you said Blasto, but I think you were just being.
Yeah, I was being a dick.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, most of the franchises I grew up with and love are still being actively worked on. However, I'd love to see Capcom. Ideally, I'd like to see Capcom sell off Mega Man to a team that loves the character and will do something good with it. Nintendo, for example.
Or have someone pull an Atlas where they just buy the company and be like, here, you can be this company now, and
yeah,
you can be Capcom and do all the things you want to do as Capcom. We got your back. You
Right.
are us now, but be you.
And I'll be honest, like, it's not that the franchise lacks games. I mean, even without a new one, it's still
It's like 40.
yeah. But I would like to see a developer who appreciates it, do something with it, maybe take it out of the realm of 2D and kind of do something more along the lines of Mega Man Powered Up.
Someone had a really good idea.
Mega Man Legends or whatever it was.
Someone had a really good idea. Maybe it's not a really good idea. This is the idea itself is good.
Okay.
Do kind of like a Mega Man Zelda style game to where you go around to each of these dungeons, right? And that's like there's like Woodman's World and shit like that, and you have to fight them, and then like it's all 3D and shit like that, right? To where you get like their weaponry to go and run around and use in a 3D environment.
Yeah, well, that doesn't sound too bad, but basically I'd like to see something done with the franchise, and get it out of Capcom's hands so they stop fucking teasing us with all this shit that they later go on to cancel. And I'm with Wayne that I would love to see a new proper Castlevania game. Be it in the Symphony of the Night style or the the old fucking 2D
Belmont
shit.
series. No, the Belmonts.
It's a positive thing you'd say. Since he's in Smash Brothers, he gets more awareness because I guarantee you, if Pit wasn't in Brawl, that last Kid Icarus game wouldn't exist.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I still can't believe that they actually put Dark Pit in as his own character. Because if you're gonna do that, why isn't Ferris Deity his own character?
Who? Ferris Bueller?
Ferris Deity. They have the you can choose to when you're playing as a Link in Smash Brothers. If you check alternate costumes, there's a Ferris Deity mask as an alternate costume.
Huh.
If they were willing to give Dark Pit his own character slot, why not do the same thing for Ferris Deity?
Right. Well, so that's my answer.
They did that with Samus as well. There's Doc Samus in Ultimate Costume.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's
Did
what
you?
I'm saying.
Did you?
No, I
ever?
didn't.
Yeah.
See, he kind of stole mine with Mega Man. At least that was one of mine.
Yeah.
I would really love to see them go back and I'd be fine with even a 2D. Like just bring back the 2D Mega Man games. Fucking Christ! Stop calling. Okay.
Yeah, I got the same one. It's fine. Huh?
Oh no, we just doxed ourselves. We're in the same secret Skype cabal.
What super
Yeah.
secret Skype cabal?
Super secret Skype cabal with 3 people.
Yeah.
They all want us to play WoW.
Right.
They're probably listening right now. If they're not, they should be ashamed of themselves.
It's like, what are you
Nobody
but,
listens to
okay,
this
I
shit,
would
right?
love to see. Yeah, I know. It's just me watching. I know.
I don't even watch it.
It's just me and my bots.
But I would love to see them go back and Jack and Daxter. Kind of like the same thing that Daryl was talking about with giving the IP to somebody who would appreciate it. Like Naughty Dog, I understand. They're like, look, are they at a point right now to where they're raking in enough money to where they could even like just say, hey, we're gonna buy our own development studio. They'll be under the Sony flag too, but we want somebody who's going to treat some of our past licenses with the respect and diligence that's due to these franchises.
Give it to Stanzaro, the guys who made Last Sly Cooper.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sanzaro did a good job with that.
Like, fucking, oh my god, like I just want more of that game.
Jack,
I really do. Jack and Daxter's two of my favorite characters out of the PS2 generation. Like, Crash, he definitely ruled the PS1 gen.
Sure.
And then Jack took over that mantle in the PS2 generation. For me, anyway. Like, he obviously didn't replace the mascot or anything like that, but...
No, yeah, go ahead.
I'll say, I'm really disappointed they didn't make an Uncharted kart racer.
Yeah, Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah.
But see, look, that's kind of like what hurt Jack the most was that. And the whole reason why that was made is because they needed another year to work on Uncharted.
Yeah.
But speaking of Naughty Dog and people who were recently let go from there, a new Blood Omen / Soul Reaver game. Whether it's you reboot that entire franchise and start it all over with amazing fucking visuals and shit.
Oh, yes.
I can do that. I can do that.
Like, oh my god, dude.
There's a lot of potential there.
So much. It's just like, this lone IP, just like, yeah, we're hanging here. No one's touching us in years, but we're
so
just
much you
here.
can do.
Yeah.
God, everybody fucking loves vampires these days.
And
vampires.
The thing is, I was always bigger on the Soul Reaver games than I was on fucking the Blood Omen games.
Yeah, same here. Soul Reaver was my shit.
But I would love to
Until
see
Soul
them
Reaver
return to that.
became Blood Omen.
Yeah,
Blood Omen
they had that. What was it? God, they had that one that blended the two together.
Deception?
What was it called?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good one though. It was a good game. It was fun game. I like how they actually were like the Spirit Reaver and the Soul Reaver became one.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't Raziel part of the Reaver, or he was the soul in the Reaver?
No, he had to.
Go read the lore, dude. He became the soul that was in the Reaver.
Was he?
Yeah.
All I know is that he had to eventually help the person who killed him, which I thought was a great little plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he killed by one of the fucking dudes? That I want to say Templars, but that's fucking.
He was killed by Cain.
I know he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Cain ripped his wings off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cain ripped his wings off.
Tossed him down. Yeah. He's all, I knew you, Raziel. You are worthy. That guy was awesome. That actor who yeah, he's dead now. Shit.
But I absolutely love those games.
God,
I'd love to see a return to that franchise. Like that and Jack were probably my two go-to. Mega Man is definitely a reserve in that, but I don't know. I just don't think Capcom.
Defiance, not Deception. It was Defiance.
See, I knew it was something. It was something with a D.
Yeah.
It's something with a D, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'll
But yeah, I'm like, go ahead.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yes. Okay.
I would like to see Ultimate Alliance again. That would.
Sure.
That was a yeah.
Yeah, and now same team, was it Raven or whatever? Guys who did
trying to think who did
X-Men Legends as well.
That game is basically out. It's a friggin' Marvel Online game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Basically out. They just decided, hey, these online microtransaction games, they're cool with the kids and make the monies.
The monies.
I'm not saying it's a good game. I'm just saying it's out there. I haven't played it. I have no opinion other than it's a thing.
Apparently it is pretty popular.
Wayne, we actually didn't start till 6:30, so we're running a little bit
Oh.
late.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
it. So you were being idiots. Got it.
Well,
no.
I was out and about, and I didn't get back until like 6 o'clock, and I wanted to eat before we did the show.
You
So.
know there are shows to be had. You can't be.
Yeah,
I kicked a lady out of a tax office today, so I had to kick it. No, actually, no. I ended up staying like 2 hours over.
Should have kicked her out, man.
Mm.
Yeah, you like your job, right?
Well, after today, no. But
Oh yeah, so I told you. Hey, Wayne.
Today's mission is to dox Wayne and let his employer know that.
Right.
Hey Wayne, I told you I got a new job, right?
yes, sir.
So, and I was all excited. I was like, yeah, it's not through a temp agency, so they won't push me back a week like the other one did. They sent me an email today saying, oh, by the way, there wasn't enough people in your fucking trading class, so we got to push you back a week.
Oh,
So yeah, hits keep on coming, man.
Ideal's trying to leave.
Get
Wait,
back here.
I have a reason for it. Like, my parents want me to run an errand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That didn't sound totally made up.
It's not like he's trying to go be Brown on a Saturday night. I mean,
Yeah.
He was doing this interview from the car. Sorry, guys. It's got to go.
Yeah.
Dude's gonna strap a fucking vest with hot dogs
Okay.
on it and try to
Like,
rob
okay.
a bank.
yeah, okay, Arthur Chu, you can go in.
All right, guys.
I said Adil's a plantain. He's brown on the outside and white on the inside.
Oh, God damn it. See you, Adil. You have a good one.
Oh, God, David.
Yeah,
Pleasure
yeah.
talking with you, man.
All right, guys. Later.
Later, dude. Thanks for joining.
For sure.
Speaking of, did y'all get a chance to talk about the charity stream from last night?
No, we didn't.
Not yet.
Well, we talked a little bit
Want to
about
talk about it, man?
Yeah, let's talk about it because it was fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
watch
I
that.
actually,
Looked like a good time.
Wayne, I actually managed to beat Adil in a Street Fighter 4 match today, dude.
I saw it. It's a real thing. It happened.
It really happened. Like
It really happened, straight
who
up.
was he using?
He was using Evil Ryu.
Oh, what did you do?
I don't know. I surprised him, I
You were
think.
Ken, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
Ken.
you were Ken, and you were.
Did you
fucking
flowchart?
Yeah, right. No,
He was-
dude.
he was
well,
hyping.
he told me what happened. See, like he's used to fighting against people that won't punish his jumps and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I was doing that, and he was like, "Oh." But I mean, in the second match, you know, I mean, it was still close, but he took that one. But yeah, I actually managed to fucking hold my own.
Yeah, he went on like a 19-0 streak last night.
Yeah.
He ran the table with in the room, and that it was kind of neat because I know Gamer Giving See-Through Review Steven, he was hosting it, and Captain Murphy was shilling it, and of course the whole big thing was like apparently Total Biscuit had accepted a match against Captain Murphy.
Yeah, that was a
Didn't
thing
show
that
up.
happened and then couldn't happen.
Yeah, because he was sick. He won't feeling too well. Because,
Yeah, so
we have to remember he's still recovering. From
Right.
a battle with
Chemo
cancer.
and whatnot.
Yeah, and he's going through chemo and whatnot.
that
so-
ain't even a thing.
Yeah, but so we respect that he gave us a signal boost out of it. So
Absolutely.
that was really cool.
But,
But
How much
it
you
was
guys
probably-
raise?
in Captain Murphy, I think we got about $100.
I was kind of hoping you
Okay,
guys would have gotten
not
to
bad.
talk to him and been like, yeah, there's a guy who does this crappy little internet show on Saturdays.
Yeah,
He's an
we
absolute
talked
diehard
about
fan.
how like you were going to sell out your soul to but yeah, it was probably a good thing it didn't happen because apparently Murphy just wasn't feeling it last night and he lost to everybody.
Well, see, look, you guys could have told him like, yeah, he bought $300 Remoto headset just to be like you, man. He should meet him.
Yeah. And it said he's everything that he's everything you are except successful. And
There you go. Exactly. Fucking perfect.
Oh, somebody said it.
Everybody starts somewhere.
well, yeah, I mean even Total Biscuit had to start somewhere.
Right.
It's not like he was. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I couldn't stand him. I
Right.
thought he was like a pompous ass. And
He
then
was.
I started. Yeah, I mean, he really was. I mean, then when you really started listening to what he was saying, I was like, well,
Now you know he's a pompous ass who makes good points.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like if he's a pompous ass, but at the same time he's like standing up for your rights as a consumer, you're like, well, you know what? I gotta back this man, so.
Absolutely, and he's one of the few YouTube personalities that claim to be about consumer rights who actually is. So
Yeah, he doesn't waffle on that fact.
Right.
And he's proven, like,
biscuits and waffles.
Yeah. He's kind of proven through this whole thing that he is not going to back down from that, no matter how his friends think about it.
Right.
Unlike the other ones where they basically, the Kool-Aid not only was sipped, it was, it was their heads were dunked in it.
For fucking.
Yeah, they were bobbing for,
bobbing for privilege.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Bobbing for shekels.
Yeah, so it was like that whole thing, and he has not backed down once, and he's done it in a way where he hasn't, like, the people who disagree with him, who he are friends with, he hasn't, like, wrecked them,
Right.
which he's only wrecked those that are really acting stupid, like Miles Chong and of course, Mac and Josh and and folks like that. But
boy, I'd like to hear some of the things he said off the record.
Oh.
Good
I would
job.
absolutely love to hear those, conversations with his wife. It's like, I just have this feeling. So Jim Sterling's being a fucking moron.
Fucking Sterling.
Yeah, but yeah.
You traced this video today about reviewing the Kim Kardashian game.
What about it?
And it's weird because like a guy in the video mentions that there's like these articles saying that Kim Kardashian is one of the most admired gaming people of 2014 because of this game.
Oh,
Leigh Alexander named it one of her friggin' like legit top games of 2014, the Kim Kardashian mobile
Yeah,
game.
but did you see the reason why?
What was her reason?
Her reason why was because everybody else hated it.
Okay.
See, it's got to the point where you're not being any kind of journalist at all. You're just being a contrarian.
Yeah.
And that, if you want to advertise yourself as that, fine.
You're being a professional troll.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to get that, if you want to be that, that's fine. I mean, people have actually made money doing it. So, I mean,
All right.
you think about Yahtzee. I mean, Yahtzee's a gamer, but he's basically made his entire career of like, hey, look how shitty this game is. That's not really shitty,
Right.
Fucking Maddox.
Yeah. Well, Maddox, I mean, he's just like the supreme troll.
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. So.
He makes good points too, though. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he's an athlete by saying like, no, this is what it is, and y'all are suckers.
Where were you when Maddox was referencing a Christina Hoff Summers video?
He was?
Oh yeah. She put a clip to it was the part where we was talking about how if you want more representation in games, go make games. There's money out there to be made. Just go get it.
Right.
She put that clip in her own video.
Nice.
And of course, he always is like, crapping on these so-called feminist ideals of, this and that and the other.
You
And I
mean
should
my
say,
ideals?
yeah. Well, there was one. It was years ago. It's like, it's like, it was so many years ago, but it was something to the effect of, I get so sick of these chicks who think their farts don't stink. So.
That's yeah.
And it's like, like, oh, like, it's like, they fart, and they're like, oh, tee-hee, I farted, and it's like, yeah, you farted, and it stunk, you dumb bitch.
Smells like hot garbage on a summer day. But no, you were dainty about it, so yeah, I forgive you.
Yeah. Tee-hee,
Yeah, right? Pinky up in the air. Tee-hee. No, bitch. That fucking
Raise your
like
pinky
something
when
died
you're
in your asshole.
Yeah, raise your pinky when you're about to explode your ass.
Oh shit!
This is going places.
Yeah, isn't it? Best stream ever. All right, we got any more topics or?
We're on free for all time, I think.
Yeah, I think we were just...
I'm kind of looking over this thing that John linked in the chat, which doesn't surprise me. Oh, by the way, I want to make a good point about this. If y'all would click that archive link he's got there, and just look at the diversity.
Oh yeah. Fucking curious case of Kim.
All the diversity, all the time.
Wow.
Would you be surprised that Total Biscuit is not on that list?
Oh, you mean the trending gamer is not on this list?
Have you actually seen the poll for that
No, they swapped him out for PewDiePie, obviously. I mean,
It's funny. If you look at the poll, Total Biscuit won by 50%,
Yep.
and even Jeff Gerstmann had like 35%.
Fucking Jeff Gerstmann.
He's alright.
Yeah, well, he's kind of a dick, but
whoa. How in the fuck is Kim Kardashian on this fucking list?
because she's got legs and she knows how to use them. I don't know.
Oh, and they did this on purpose. They put PewDiePie on this list, like YouTube friend to millions and key trendsetter.
Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey.
There's some people on this list that just don't make sense.
Kevin Spacey. Okay.
Well, you already see. I mean, you see from the picture who was already on the list. So
Well, Kevin Spacey was one of the main characters in Call of Duty.
right.
The new
And
one.
of course, literally who 1, 2, and 3 are all on the list.
all three of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. And if you look at them, it's like all because of harassment stuff.
What harassment?
They're admirable because of harassment. Or
If
something.
anybody wants a good breakdown of how badly the media has failed us, go read some of Brad Wardell's recent tweets, where he basically breaks down. He said, "Let's look at the demographic. Let's look at the breakdown here. Feminist Frequency has 180,000 YouTube subscribers. Total Biscuit has almost 2 million.
Right.
Yet they're pandering to Feminist Frequency.
They do that. They do this. Yeah.
I'm stroking my beard.
Yeah, then here's the words perspective. Total Biscuit has 1.9 million YouTube subscribers. Feminist Frequency has 180K.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you notice all the ratio of likes to dislikes on the fucking
That
ABC?
was absolutely amazing.
Right. Have they closed the voting for that yet?
No, they haven't. They haven't. I don't.
Because it just
I'm
got
gonna
wrecked.
take it real quick. I'm pretty sure they have it. Let's see.
They did delete a shit ton.
You know
of
what?
content.
Yeah, Marco brought it up, so you know what? Let's go into it. Talk about the hit piece a little bit. I know Marco was there, and I'm sorry that the audio was so crap the other night. We did hit that. It should be for my podcast. It should be up within the next few hours. So.
Oh, sweet. Oh,
Yeah.
that's.
Remy says that she's still working on it, so.
Yeah, she's got because we broke it. We stopped it and then started back again, so it's kind of got split back together and all that good stuff.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get full optimistic, righteous indignation
Nah.
in that because I went on a little tirade.
Have you felt the fury?
Yeah, I'm eager to hear that. That's actually why I want to, because we had that conversation the other day, and I wanted to see how that played out.
Yeah, it's definitely coming up, and I'm hoping, if anything, it'll be tomorrow at the latest. So,
All right.
But
with that friggin' hit piece, there was a little segment of it. They talked to that one game store owner at the end of it, where he was like, pretty much neutral, like, oh, I don't know about them Gamergates, but Anita Sarkeesian seems like she's capitalizing off controversy, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, exactly. Thank you for at least that viewpoint from somebody.
But also, what they
18 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about that, you find out that he actually had a 15-minute interview and he used 30 seconds of it.
I didn't even know that. Oh shit.
And he's getting red pilled hard right now. He knows.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I bet because if you didn't really care about Gamergate but you did know that there was something like, that seems kind of off right there. Like, oh, guess what?
Apparently, some people found his Twitter and it's like, hey, dude, it's like, hey, dude, I know you said you denounced the harassment, and we do too. And here's what Gamergate's really about.
So it's almost like a bunch of people came over to me like, hey, you come over here, just come on, just this way.
Like, look, I'm your buddy. Okay, and
Can I
also,
ask you something?
yes.
So ABC, yeah?
Yeah.
How many views did they get when that was broadcasting?
Well, that was on Nightline during prime time on TV, so that's there's ratings somewhere, I'm sure by now, but it's going to be in the millions of people at least on the initial view, not just who's viewing online on the website.
In other words, I'm sure next family get together, I'm gonna have to hear about this bullshit and explain to her how to these fucking people that I don't harass people on the internet, that I get harassed on the internet.
Yeah.
And then I have to link them all to my Patreon. And
dude, actually, I mean, legit. You want to talk about the struggles of a Juggalo online? It's hard. It's a hard life.
Patreons, how do they work?
Yeah, but yeah, that was like, and you notice, I mean, it's already been, kind of been talked about, but they're going around shadow banning comments.
Yeah.
On the, well, for one thing, one of the, a lovely YouTuber and person on Twitter, Shoe-on-Head, basically laid the absolute wrecked on this piece and ended up getting like 2,000 upvotes, which was at current levels, it's currently about 1,500 more than what ABC got in likes on their initial video. So.
Thanks for that mic drop, by the way.
And then of course Total Biscuit came in there and he said, "I own this space."
Right. Just within the first 5 seconds, you are wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
I mean, he made a comment on YouTube and it was so good. I know I retweeted it. I'll look it up.
About like yellow journalism and shit.
Yeah, he called it yellow journalism. I'm sure I got it retweeted because I retweet almost everything he says.
People shat on him for that, by the way. The whole thing where he was asking people for, what was it? Examples of rape in video games.
Or like specifically like this is the objective. This is you have a specifically clear option. Like, protects the rape.
The thing is, like every situation they showed, and let's not be at all shocked if Anita wasn't playing the game. But there was every example they showed, it was a choice to do it that way.
Right.
And you would be penalized if you did it the way she did it.
Yeah, like the cops are going to come after you.
Yeah.
If anything, it teaches you if you kill a hooker, the cops are going to come after you. How you decide to deal with the cops after that.
Mm-hmm. There was a stream that they did recently, Feminist Frequency did, and apparently Mac and Josh was running the mod on the chat, and our good friend Remy Punks was in the chat and noticed that even though Anita's supposed to be playing a game, she had her arms folded. and Remy said, I've never been able to play a game with my arms folded. This is a new talent, and she was banned immediately from the chat.
Oh wow! I am not surprised. Was it fucking Ralph got himself banned from the chat once?
No, everybody. I think everybody that night got themselves banned from the chat because.
Hi, ban.
Mm-hmm.
Opposing points of view aren't allowed when they make you look like an arsehole.
Yeah. Well, they always say don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. So.
Yeah. And they do. Oh boy, do they.
Keep making them. Over and over and over again. It's wonderful.
That's why I like gamers existing as like a wall to their bullshit, and then it just gets plastered upon that wall for everybody to see, and now everybody can laugh at all these people.
I think this House of Cards is going to crumble pretty soon, or soon enough, rather.
You can only contain it. You can only maintain a narrative so long, especially when, like for example, a YouTube comment. YouTube upvote and downvote when. These are people who regularly watch your news, and they're saying nope.
Yeah.
And like I said, I made a good point about this. It's like, you notice that in the description they said, in an effort to reprogram the video game industry. I'm sure they were trying to be tongue-in-cheek, but I was like, you have no idea.
I posted a comment saying, like, it's right there in the title, guys. That's our problem.
Yeah.
Instead of making the games they want, they're trying to reprogram the industry.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, a good, I think we said many times on this show and on my show and different places. It's like if you make a good product, people will come.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be like if you make a great feminist.
I come all over the place. I'm ready to play a good product, but
yeah,
that's not the kind of come you're talking about. Okay, sorry, my bad.
No. But I'm saying, even if if it's a game that's like heavily feministic, with themes and whatnot, if it's good, people will play it.
Right.
If it's bad, nobody will play it. That's the thing. If you make a bad game, that's why it isn't because they're doing it because you're a female developer. They're doing it because you made a bad game.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
is that why female developers who made good games seem to have no problem?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how that works.
Yep. You quit
Not saying you're getting harassed because you made a bad game. Just don't call it.
Don't say like I'm on. The only reason people aren't buying the games because I'm a woman. No, we're not buying games because it's stupid.
How many people bought Journey and knew that the lead designer was a woman?
Who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the game.
So I was gonna say, so I'm quite thirsty. I'll put in the chat what I said.
Oh,
Okay.
You said Journey. Who knew that Journey's dev lead was a female, and I didn't for a while.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody cared because it was a good game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. You know?
Yeah.
I actually did, because I don't have a PlayStation and I didn't play Uncharted. I didn't know that.
We're at that point
What's her
where
face?
we should start shilling. So yeah, let's go ahead and lead off with Wayne's point there, to where if you make a good, solid game, people will play it. If it's shit, they're not interested.
If you build it, I will come.
Yeah.
+1 like, rate, comment, subscribe.
And I'll also play your game too. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go down the line and everyone tell people where to follow you, where to find you, and what you do.
So,
where's the line?
Yeah.
The line is right here. You can't see that. Okay, go ahead, John. Apocalypse. Where do people find you?
It's Twitter, John Apocalypse. That's it.
Alright. Our John.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at EA Capitalism. I'm also a regular on the stream. Sometimes I talk a lot. Today I didn't talk a whole lot. I just soaked in the knowledge of the others.
We didn't talk about Call of Duty a lot, so.
It's
also,
true.
he's making plans to rape somebody later, and he's got to focus on that.
Oh, God.
That's right. You gotta plan those things out. You know.
I'm gonna grape you.
That's hard work. Such hard
Grape
work.
you so hard.
Yeah, his nickname is the Grape Ape. So. All right.
24 flavors. Anyways, next person.
It'd be Josh Bray.
I'm at Doc Bray. I'm just a content producer, and sometimes I write words on stuff. Look
Like
forward
the
to more of that
bathroom
soon.
wall. Yeah.
Alright, Wayne.
Okay. You can find me at Optimus Deadpool on Twitter. And if you want to add me in Steam, that's fine. It's also Optimus Deadpool.
I thought it was Optimus the Supreme or Optimus something like that.
I changed it. So
alright.
you know, I'm trying to brand myself here.
Gotta go cross-platform.
That's right. That's right. And of course I do the Dead Gamers Talk podcast every Thursday night, 9 to 11. Hopefully this week won't be any technical difficulties, but the new episode will be going up on the on Remy Punks' YouTube channel. Hopefully in the next day or so. So everybody can give that a listen. I thought it was a great episode, and I'm not trying to be shilly. It's just that I really think that touched on a lot of good stuff. So.
That's what this whole part of the show's about, man.
And I'm
eager where to find you.
Eager to hear it. So.
Yeah.
Sooner you guys get it up, the better. That's
All
what
right,
she
Daryl.
said.
Daryl, besides here on this show, where else can people find you?
In hell, sucking Satan's cock. On Twitter, CyberZion _101. That's CyberXION _101 on Twitter. If you want to find me on Steam, take the _101 off. And you can find me here on YouTube at Red Warrior Plays Games Badly, where I play games badly. And that's about it. Oh, and occasionally I write stuff on bathroom walls to lead them to Josh's house where they can get free blowjobs, and yeah, that's about it.
And I'm Rotten Rye, if you haven't already realized. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. Click the thumbs up in the corner and like the video, share it with your episode with your friends if you enjoyed it. You can also find me in hell getting my dick sucked by Daryl. You can find me on Twitch with Rotten _Rye. You can find me on Twitter at Rotten, or wow, fucking words, at Rotten Rye HD. And I think that's it, right?
Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
As far as giving out Steam names, I think I'm Rotten Rye on there as well, but I don't really know.
He doesn't actually play video games. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I play the greatest MMO ever made, and that's Twitter.
Best ARG ever.
Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Now
thanks
stop
for tuning
watching
in,
because
guys.
the show's about done.
Peace,
Yeah,
bitches.
go and play some video. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.